Hello everyone, welcome to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari and I'm joined by RareAdam, and tonight we have some familiar faces for y'all. If you are around Style Esports, you might recognize both of these teams here, Team Death Realm and Imperial Knights Blue. We're supporting the Imperial Red Knights because of a joke I made last week with them that they seem to really resonate with, but we are getting right into picks and bans, and we're ready to get this underway. Adam, are you ready?
I am very excited to see this matchup play out. We've seen Imperial Knights Blue, or I guess Imperial Knights Red in this case, show up multiple times as Pro Draft is actually bugged, so we're probably going to have a quick remake on that. Should be able to see both of these teams go at it, and I'm really excited to see what Team Death Realm has in store for us. But Imperial Knights Blue, I need to remember what their actual name is, are consistent mainstays on our stage here, and they are very exciting to watch. They bring very unique strategies to the table, and I really like to see what they bring out every single week.
Yeah, for sure. As yeah, we need to get the new. We need to get into the new draft law lobby here, is because we love to see it. Okay, here we go. Oh, we getting in there? Getting in there. Okay.
Oh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Twitch chat. We are doing it.
We're drafting. I'm drafting. Okay. So yeah, I mean, we're probably going to see like a bunch of new stratagems come out. I think you were talking about it before, with Worlds. With Worlds being with some of the picks at Worlds, we saw Yuumi come to a whole lot of prominence, and we might be able to see that tonight. You were particularly excited about that in between our games, before we went live.
Yeah, Yuumi has definitely risen a lot in priority, and it's not based on her healing build that she went before with the Moonstone Renewal or the Shirelias. It's with Luden's Echo. You just go straight for that. Or Luden's Tempest, sorry. Got to make sure I remember my Season 11 names. Basically going straight damage.
How dare you?
Because of the AP ratios on her heals, she's able to do a whole bunch of damage and heal you for quite a big chunk. So has risen to prominence based on the eastern regions more so, with LPL and LCK picking it up a little bit more, and the fall of Amumu a little bit. Some teams have realized that, hey, maybe this champion that only has two abilities that are really functional, it isn't that good overall. So it's interesting to see how that's played out, and I really like to see how the meta is constantly evolving. Nami's another champion that has risen in prio specifically because of Lucian, and it looks like Imperial Knights Blue are just going to take that completely off the table and basically turn the Lucian away. But oh my goodness, they did it! Let's go!
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is pretty comfortable here for Gracefish as well. Gracefish is a Nami one trick, and when the Nami is not available to them, they will just look to other enchanters, and I feel like this is just a very good time for them to be picking up Yuumi. Once again, like you said, like going into that poke build. I mean, even if she isn't going into the poke build, I feel like she can still pick up the Moonstone Renewer if she wants, and still be able to heal up the team, or even just like stick on to one particular person. I feel like that's why it's not as good, right? The Moonstone Renewer build, just because like if you're stuck to one person, then you might not be able to optimize the amount of healing you get from a Moonstone. What are your thoughts?
I think that sometimes it's what we normally saw out of Yuumi before was more of the Shirelias, because every time you would jump to someone, you'd give them your airy shield or something, and you'd give them movement speed on top of it, on top of your general heals. So it was rather strong, but especially with Moonstone, because it heals the lowest health allies, sometimes you're not getting the buffs on the people you want, whereas now with Ludens, you don't really have any buffs to give, except for Yuumi yourself, so you can just kind of control it a little bit better. But with the Ezreal, it's a very standard lane that we've seen with Yuumi's before. We have seen some more aggressive AD carries with Yuumi now, but Misfortune Leona does make that lane a little bit more challenging, because anytime Yuumi jumps off, she has to be very careful of engages from Leona.
Yeah, and this Ezreal pickup is mostly like you'll see a lot of high mobility champions as a counter to Misfortune here, and especially a counter to the Jarvan that most junglers will pick with Misfortune as well, right? Because you want ideally when you use the ultimate with Misfortune, which is why a lot of people have been picking Misfortune recently, you want everyone to stay in one place, right? But if you're up against an Ezreal and a Graves, someone who can, and especially a Yumi as well, a character who's completely untargetable until they latch off, right? It's going to be really tough for Misfortune to actually deal some large amounts of damage with the bullet time if all they're doing is just dashing out of it. Obviously dashing is just quicker than, moving, just clicking somewhere.
Yeah, in general, the Yumi's just sort of like, she doesn't really act as a champion sometimes, especially in the early game, but you've got to be very careful about how you play this champion, because if you give the Yumi a little bit too much time to scale, she will scale into an unstoppable monster. And especially when you have some other members to be able to buff up, like the Graves, who is a little bit more forward facing, it can be rather difficult to take down a Graves that has perhaps a shield bow on top of a Bloodthirster on top of a Yumi. It's sort of like an additional item or two.
Yeah, it should be interesting, as now we're seeing the rest of the bans here. Rumble and LeBlanc being banned away from Imperial Knights Blue. This is some targeted at the top and the mid lane here a bit, as now Gwen, and I'm going to guess, yeah, it's another top lane ban, targeted Vision of Empire here. Vision of Empire, a very strong player, one of the strongest, I would argue, one of the stronger players on Imperial Knights Blue. Went toe-to-toe with a lot of our other seasoned top laners and was able to win in a lot of cases. Very disciplined player up in the top lane for sure. Is going to be picking up the Silas here. A very good flex pick, can be going into that top lane or that mid lane. Very, very good, and especially against a team that has some pretty good ultimates, should be a pretty good pickup as well. I mean, it's also going to keep Team Deathrum from building anything else that has like super powerful ultimates. And yeah, okay. Are we doing the 4 DPS 1 healer? What's up? What are we doing?
I don't mind the Zoe pick, actually, because in general it matches up really well with the Silas. It makes it so that his ultimate is useless in lane unless you're stealing the Ezreal ultimate or you're stealing the Graves ultimate from elsewhere on the map. It's generally been seen as a pretty good matchup, and Silas very rarely goes up against or goes top lane nowadays, but this is Imperial Knights Blue. They like to flex around their champions. Silas is very much a 3-side champion, but Vision of Empire has played it before, and maybe they're able to flex it around. We'll have to see what the last pick is, but oh my goodness, no shot.
No way. No way. What? Okay, well... Okay, so Vision of Empire locking in the Riven here. I mean, this is still a flex, right? I mean, I think the Riven is probably going up against the Wukong. I don't think any day of the week you want Riven up against Zoe, right?
Well, you never know. This is Imperial Knights Blue. They have been known to pull some strategies out of their rears. For all we know, Cypher Soul could be playing Silas jungle, because Silas jungle isn't actually that bad. Fun fact, my CLOL jungler, not leaking strats, plays a lot of Silas jungle. But regardless... It's most likely going to be that Talon in the jungle. I'm interested to see what Cypher Soul goes in terms of summoners, because sometimes we see the Ignite. We saw the Teleport come out from PSG, I believe, at Worlds today, which was interesting. And especially when you want to be trying to shut down these DPS carries that are a little bit squishier, Talon might want to take that Ignite to just sort of finish them off in the early game.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, like... a lot of folks take, I mean, I don't know. Like, whenever, I feel like me personally, I would never not want to have Flash. Like, even if my character, like, had an ability that was, like, regularly available that would make, like, Flash, like, just extraneous, I still feel like Flash is just an insanely good spell, because sometimes you just don't have those abilities up, right? Like, you're not going to be able to jump back over a wall that you just parkoured over with Cypher Soul on the Talon, right? So, like, I'm just wondering, like, if they do end up going Ignite, like, how much it's going to affect how Cypher Soul is going to be pathing and even fighting.
And I think one of the biggest parts about taking Ignite is that when you look at the soul, or at least the top end jungle right now, they have a little bit of innate healing already. You're able to cut through that in the early game, and that's not the worst thing to have. As well, it means that if Talon is ganking bot lane, you don't have to always have the Ignite available on Saber's waifu, because if you're going to be going bot lane, this Yuumi is going to be able to heal up enough on this Ezreal to the point where Talon's Burst doesn't really do as much. So if you take that Ignite, you're cutting down the healing, you're able to deal more damage, and in the end, you're almost nullifying her healing completely. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it come through. If not, we're going to have to see some incredibly early Executioner's Callings coming through, or even Oblivion Orb coming through on the Silas to really cut down on Yumi's healing, because, as I said, Yuumi is such a snowball champion, and she's also snowball enabler. She's a snowball enabler, I guess. So even if she's behind, if you put her on someone who's very fed, she just makes them even stronger.
Yeah, and I agree, because even the rest of this team, even though they don't have any sort of innate healing, will probably end up healing in some way, shape, or form, right? Between Graves, Wukong, and Ezreal, their itemization, in addition to their runes, will have a lot of healing in it, right? Most AD carries have been going Bloodline and Thirst for Blood and, Ravenous Hunter, right? And those are going to be things that Ezreal and Graves are going to be picking up, whereas Wukong is going to be going probably Conqueror and maybe Bloodline. And like maybe even doing that same build right there and picking up a Divine Sunderer even, right? And so like just between all the healing that they're probably going to be building and having in their masteries in addition to Yuumi, I think that Grievous Wounds will be pretty valuable this game against Team Deathrealm.
And one thing to note is that if you take the Ignite on Talon, you don't have to build you don't have to really build an Executioner's Calling yourself. You're going to be going in for those fights when you have your Ignite available a little bit more often, and you just have that sort of 800 gold summoner spell in your back pocket for whenever you go and engage. So that's something that's so sort of the reason why you see Camille's take Ignite top lane. Sometimes you'll see the Gwens even take Ignite top lane if they don't take Ghost or if they don't take Exhaust. It's the main reason why people go teleport Ignite, is so that they can cut down on someone's healing without necessarily having to spend 800 gold on an item. So we'll have to see what Cypher Soul does. We've talked a lot about the Talon, but looking at this bot lane should be interesting to see how that works out as well. Misfortune Leona is sort of a combo as old as time, similar to, well, not really similar to Misfortune Amumu, because Amumu's a newer thing, but right. Misfortune Leona, that you just drop both your ults at level 6 and you can generally win, but Ezreal Yuumi is going to be really tough to lock down.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you land one CC on Leona, you're landing all the other ones, right? Like, my big thing here is that is going to be really easy to focus the Ezreal. Even though Yuumi is going to be there throwing at abilities, you can't, like, split damage against a Yuumi lane, right? It's very hard to, like, oh, they're hitting my AD carry, so I'm going to, like, split and, like, CC the other AD carry so that they're now splitting damage and neither one of us are going to die, right? When you're the Yuumi, like, if you detach, especially against a high CC champion like Leona, right, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble, right? So Yuumi is probably just going to be stuck to Ezreal the whole time, and Ezreal is going to have to be really cautious about these kind of burst windows, because Misfortune, even though I say that she's a snowbally champion, can still bully in the lane if she lines up her double up, or not her passive, her what do you call her Q that has double up? Okay, yeah. If she lines up her double ups properly and times them right, then she will be dealing a whole lot of damage to Ezreal, that once Leona wants to all in, he's going to be in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, and sort of my final thought before we head to break is that I expect the Ezreal to take cleanse in this lane. Yuumi can't take the heal, of course. Doesn't need flash, so we'll have to see I'm really interested to see where the summoner spells go, because this is a game where you have a lot of flexibility with it. We'll see if Zoe goes for the spell book or if it's electrocute, and I want to keep an eye on what Talon goes for as well. Even Riven could go for that teleport ignite, so this is sort of a game where you have some flexibility with summoner spells and you're not necessarily locked into flash.
Yeah, we'll have to see what interesting summoner spells come out as we get into the Rift in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break, and we'll be on the Rift between Team Deathrealm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari, and I'm joined by RareAdam. We're on the Rift for Team Deathrealm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Imperial Knights Blue are red, and Team Deathrealm is blue. And we're about to get this Game 1 underway between these two teams. It looks like they were looking for a level 1 invade, but weren't able to find it this time. Ricelever was able to spot them out. So the rest of the team is going over the wall. Looks like they might actually look to steal this buff. What do you think they're doing here, Adam?
I think they're just looking for a little bit of information. They're looking for a little bit of vision for the Empire, I dare say. But they'll make sure that they know exactly where this Graves is starting. Graves can do leashless buffs, which is interesting to note. But Vision of Empire just going to show off his OG Championship Riven skin and his Riven mechanics at the same time.
Yeah, I think I missed out on Championship Riven for some reason. I don't remember. I remember watching the Season 2 World Championships. I remember, like, putting the big 2 on her sword was, like, really cool. But, like, I don't think I ever actually got Championship Riven back then.
I definitely didn't because I started playing League in Season 5, but...
Oh, well...
You know, listen, keep in mind...
Well, you missed out. You missed out, clearly.
I would have been... I'm going to make my... Everyone's going to know my age after this. I was 12 years old, 13 years old.
Oh, God.
So, like, technically, I wasn't allowed to play League of Legends because it was rated T for teen. I was not a teenager yet.
Of course. God, I remember I couldn't play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles because it was rated T.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that game has, like, nothing in it. That game is, like, so harmless. It's like, but it's rated T.
Yeah, I think a lot of games from the past were like, they were just rated teen or like mature because they were like slightly suggestive and people were, you know, more sensitive. But then I think the biggest thing that turned the tides for me was Call of Duty for the DS was rated teen because the blood was so pixelated that you couldn't tell it was blood.
Wow, okay. Anyways, it looks like we got TDR Chimes finding Cypher Soul in the jungle here. There's going to be Talon facing a whole lot of trouble here. He's going to have to parkour over the wall if he wants to get out of there. He's going to keep giving this Graves the runaround as he's still trying to get the red buff. He's not going to get it this time. He's going to get smited. He's going to flash over the wall as well, which means TDR Chimes is going to be the one picking up that buff. But Vision of Empire and Srisai are around. They're looking to punish here. TDR Chimes is stunned up. Srisai does not land the grapple, but goes through, becomes drowsy. He's asleep, taken real low. That's going to be first blood. Grabbed by Chavi Scout's caps, as now TDR Chimes is dashing forward, looking for that last bit of damage on the Vision of Empire. Can't quite find it, so they're going to back away to 1-0, and they got the red buff. Real good start for the blue team.
Yeah, and Chovy Scout Caps already sort of flexing. 2 out of the 3 mid laners that are at Worlds there. Caps unfortunately missing out, but really well played by the Zoe early on to take advantage of the lane advantage, so to speak, that CSC has over Srisai in the early game here. And this Zoe, you just want to watch her scale up and see where she roams because she'll definitely have some roam prio on Srisai now.
Yeah, Zoe, a very powerful... Ooh, wait a minute. Diving onto the Yuumi here. That's a whole lot of damage. Can't quite join... Can't tie up just yet. Gonna clear out that ward, back away. Yumi's still hovering around, so we'll have to see him damage just a little bit. As mid lane, Drowsy, put to sleep. Angry, dirty jail man is now no longer fighting very small girl. Is now TDR Chimes fighting Cypher Soul around the red buff again. This time it's in TDR Chimes' jungle. I don't think this Talon's going anywhere anytime soon. TDR Chimes, look at all that damage it's doing just from auto attacks. Let's see if he can get it. He's going to be able to get that movement speed buff, but the bot lane is here to answer. Looks like TDR Chimes is going to be able to get away, and still no red buff for the Cypher Soul.
Yeah, unfortunately, the second half of the rake didn't come through, which would have set up really nicely for Saber's wife who's engaged. But at the end of the day, it's Cypher Soul just trying to be a little bit of a nuisance for Chime. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult matchup for the Talon overall because Graves has early game pressure as well as late game capabilities. So really interested to see how his top lane goes because Vision of Empire in this Riven has been doing really well thus far. Did burn the teleport to try and get back to lane and get a little bit more priority, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we'll have to see if Koyo Koko stays a little bit too long and if Vision of Empire can take advantage of a dive potentially.
Yeah, and this is, I think this is pretty good for Vision of Empire. Excuse me, Vision of Empire not exactly known for playing the Riven. This is certainly the first time we're seeing them on the Riven pick themselves on stream, and also not exactly in their play history either. So I'm excited mostly to see this new pick come out from Vision of Empire in the top lane, who typically plays just a little bit more tankier characters like the Darius or the Gnar. So really interesting pick here. We'll love to see how the rest of this game plays out for Vision of Empire.
Yeah, definitely got to keep an eye on how Vision of Empire plays. We were talking to, or I got the chance to talk with Suisai, sorry, about Vision of Empire on the plunge last week. By the way, if you haven't checked it out, Thursday nights, come check us out. Shinkari may be joining us one of these weeks as well, so he'll be able to take part. But talked about how Vision of Empire doesn't play solo queue that much because they don't like it. So you can see that.
Same.
Oh yeah, I mean it's similar to me, but then again, I have 800 games of solo queue this season.
Oh, come on!
I don't like solo.
You can't say you don't like solo queue and then play 800 games of it. Okay.
Listen,
that's denial. That's denial.
Listen, I don't like playing solo queue, but I like it better than playing norms alone. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, but you still have 800 games of it.
Yes, it's a problem. Okay,
you can't say you don't like it and then play 800 games. Okay, that's like saying I don't like Pokemon, but you have all of the games and you've beaten all of them.
Okay, but I like Pokemon and I've done that. So
okay, but that's not what I'm saying though.
Regardless, I mean, solo queue isn't my favorite thing in the world, but Vision of Empire just straight up doesn't play solo queue, and that's noted by his match history and stuff. But pulling out the Riven is kind of ballsy in some ways because it's a champion that you definitely need practice on over time.
Yeah, Haru here looking for the 2v1. Gonna flash forward, trigger the flash from Rice Lover here as Talon is waiting in the wings. Can't quite find his TDR. Chime is using this opportunity to gank into the top lane. Vision of Empire looking to fight Koyo Koko, taking incredibly low. There's the reactivation of the ultimate. Vision of Empire's in trouble. TDR Chime is gonna be able to pick up the kills in the mid lane. Suisai gonna be taken incredibly low, but it doesn't look like Zoe's gonna be able to find that last bit of damage. Parkour, that's gonna be Talon jumping over the wall. They're gonna be able to pick up the kill on the Rice Lover here is now Gracefish underneath the turret. Might be able to grab something here cheeky, but that is a very low health Yuumi that they might be able to grab. If the wave pushes, they can dive here. There's the Hex Flash coming in from Leona. Not going to scare the Yuumi this time. Let's see. There's the stun. There's the damage. Can they get the kill before Saber's waifu goes down? That's going to be an absolute no. That's going to be a double kill in the bot lane after a very long time. So it's a 2-for-1 across the map at the end of that extended engagement.
Yeah, really well played by this side of Imperial Knights Blue on that bot side. They're able to temper their aggression just long enough to make sure the second minion wave comes through, giving them that kill onto the Yuumi as well before Ezreal's able to come back. So overall, really well played, but Suisai's in trouble again here.
Yeah, put to sleep and napping on the job. Suisai going to try to put some return damage onto TDR Chimes here. TDR Chimes going to take a bit of damage from the turret, but not going to go down. That's going to be another kill in the mid lane onto Suisai here, and I believe it went over to Graves.
Yeah, another kill going over to this Graves, who is going for more of the lethality approach. I like to see this come out, especially when you have an early lead, because you can start to snowball that even further. And considering there's no true tank, actually, we'll get back to that point.
Yeah, that's going to be Talon put to sleep. Oh my god! Oh, and just with an auto attack, Chovy's Scout Caps runs away with this mid lane. As Vision of Empire looking for TDR Chimes here, has to use the Smite in order to heal back up here. The Heck Flash over the wall, looking for the Zenith Blade, going to be able to find it, but now it's at 3v2. His ultimate comes across, but it's a little too late there. Vision of Empire has the last bit of damage, but not enough to execute here. Now Rice Lover has joined the fight. Saber's waifu's in a whole lot of trouble here, going to eat a whole lot of damage from the Ezreal, going to use that Solar Flare to get away, but Yuumi from downtown, Gracefish, is going to be the one picking up the kill on the Saber's waifu. It's a 2-for-0 in the mid lane.
Yep. Yuumi power right there, just able to sit on top of an enemy and drop down the prowling projectile. But overall, just really well played from the side of Team Deathrealm. Imperial Knights Blue looking a little bit out of sorts thus far, which is interesting considering the form that we've seen them in the past. So we'll have to see how this all works out.
Yeah, meanwhile, in the bot lane, Haru did use the bullet time there, but it was to clear out the wave and shove it into the turret here as they are resetting right now. I think that's a pretty good way to just pick up some last-minute gold before you go back to the back to the shop. It is a decent chunk of gold, though. It looks like they might be looking for a excuse me, a mortal shield bow. I remember that word.
Words are difficult sometimes, especially
words
after
are
a
difficult.
long day. It's like,
Yeah.
man, I want to say this, but at the same time, I cannot say it. And what I want to say
Yes.
right now is Rift Herald going to Imperial Knights Blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you nailed it. You nailed it. 10 out of 10. Really proud of you, honestly.
We
But
did
with that, with the red team showing into this top lane here, the blue team's going to take this opportunity to trade the first Drake of the map. So that's going to be Ocean Dragon versus Koyo Coco, throwing out some damage on a Vision of Empire. But we're going to be trading objectives here, and I think picking up the dragon here is pretty big for Team Deathrealm here. They do get a nice little bit of stats in their pockets, and it does get them closer to that Dragon Soul here. Saber's waifu maybe playing with fire here, as that's going to be a Lost Chapter coming to Kronk, going to actually snare up the street side, but in the middle of their dash, TDR Chimes looking for that last bit of damage. I can't quite find it because he's going to go down. That's going to be Misfortune put to sleep. Ooh, okay, the Paddle Star is not going to land on a Haru, so that's actually going to be a pretty good one for nothing around the jungle there. Vision of Empire fighting in the top lane, but yeah, I mean, that's the most that you're going to see of a Riven versus Wukong there in the top lane.
Yeah, and in the end, it's really well played from the side of Imperial Knights of Blue. They're able to pick off the Graves, who picked up that Yomu's Ghostblade early, but top side.
Oh, yeah, we're still looking for more. That's a Riven ultimate. Has proc the Conqueror as well, but the Wukong ultimate is going to clear away any sort of further engagement from Vision of Empire. Going to re-engage, reactivate the ultimate here. Get a little bit more damage, but not enough to scare away Vision of Empire out of lane. So they're just going to sit there, as now Koyo Coco has to back here.
Yeah, Koyo Coco, unfortunately, just a little bit behind, all things considered. You can see that despite the assist, they're fairly even in terms of the goal, or in terms of their itemization. And Vision of Empire just starting to go for that ability haste as quickly as possible because, of course, Riven loves to be able to spam out her broken wings. But on this bot side, you can see they're starting to put a little bit more pressure. Rice is in trouble.
Yeah, Ricelife's in some trouble. That's going to be Talon diving in here. Pops the ultimate as well, but it looks like all of the AD carries are just a little too slippery for this Talon to dive on top of. So it looks like they're just going to back away here. Bullet time is... Oh my god, that double up damage is so huge. As now, yeah, it looks like they're going to be popping the Rift Herald in the bot lane here. It's going to try to unlock and maybe snowball ahead this Misfortune over the Ezreal.
Yeah, Rift Herald's going to get popped. That's going to be some gold into Cypher Soul's pocket, but...
Ooh, Solar Flare and a bullet time. Whole lot of damage, but not going to be able to find a kill this time. Haru is going to deal a whole lot of damage, but is not going to be able to finish off anyone just yet, which means Gracefish can just sit there and heal up Rice Lover for a good chunk of time.
Yeah, just going to be Gracefish sitting there, doing Yumi things. One of the main things... Oh, actually, Suicide is going to interrupt us.
Ooh, yeah, he's going to pick up the Ezreal ultimate, which is a whole lot of damage. Going to fire it out, but not going to find any damage this time. Looks like they're just going to pick up the first turret of the game, and they're just going to walk away. Haru is sitting on about 2,000 gold as well. So, yeah, this is a great time to back for the Misfortune. This is huge, as now the Broken Wings is going to be popped by Vision of Empire here. They're going to get knocked into the air. That's going to be a stun, but you can't interrupt that ultimate. Let's see if they can get the last bit of damage. The execute is not going to happen by the Blade Beam here, but Kyoko looking for the re-engage, going to flash forward, going to reactivate the ultimate, not going to find the knock-up here. Going to get the return damage. Ooh. There's the stun. They're knocked into the air, but this is going to be some trouble for the Talon here. There's a good Zenith Blade after a huge chunk of damage on the Cypher Soul here. They're finally going to be able to shut down the Zoe here, as now TDR Chimes tries to flash. Oh no, that's going to be some trouble here. TDR Chimes gonna go and gone. And TDR Chimes goes down. That's going to be a 2-for-0 up in this top lane. It's a pretty big swing for Imperial Knights Blue, who have been behind for a decent chunk of this game.
Yeah, they're able to get back into it, and Another thing that Teresa mentioned on the plunge was that they were working on their early game a lot. You saw that Team Death Realm were able to get that advantage in that early game, pick up a little bit of that lead around TDR Chimes and Chovy Scout Caps, but in the end, Imperial Knights Blue are able to get themselves back into an advantageous position. They get that first tower, and now with Dragon, only the second Dragon of the game spawning in about a minute, they've got themselves a little bit more of a gold lead, and what I would consider to be a little bit of a better team fighting comp with that Misfortune Leona, as well as the Riven who can come in from the flank.
Yeah, I mean, Riven flanks have been very, like, historically very good, right? She packs a lot of CC as well, even though it's kind of like, it's like micro stuns, like little stuff here is, wait a minute, Haru's in some trouble here, has to flash away from the Lost Chapter here. TDR Chimes is also looking for some more Haru's to run for their life, but luckily Misfortune is pretty fast. She's going to step to the exit as she leaves that fight, but that is one ultimate down for the blue team here. I don't think they'll be able to use it for this next dragon fight coming up pretty soon.
Both teleports are up for these top laners for this dragon fight. Wukong Ultimate's going to be just off of cooldown, but Vision of Empire already has the ultimate up and available. You can see here comes the first teleport.
Yeah, Wukong's already coming into this fight. I thought Bullet Time was coming down for a second, but Koyo Coco diving onto Saber's waifu here might be in some trouble. Has to keep walking away, throws out the stun, continues to kite away from this Wukong, but not going to be able to get away this time. Ezreal Ultimate comes across, but doesn't land on anyone just yet. The Everfrost comes out across as well into TDR Chimes. They're trying to focus down Koyo Coco on the back line here, but that's going to be the Wukong Ultimate coming across. Let's see if they can get this last bit of damage onto Koyo Coco here. Still, once again, reactivates, tries to flash over the wall, but Riven is going to be the one falling down. Chovy Scout is looking for that last bit of damage. Can't quite find it. Goes drowsy on a Misfortune, though. Paddle Star, can you find the damage? Nope. That's not going to happen, but it is going to be a 1-for-0. And looks like Imperial Knights Blue is not going to be the ones coming out the victors this time. It's going to be Cloud Drake being picked up by Team Death Realm.
Yep, TDK, as they are put on their logo, are able to find themselves the extra kill in that fight and pick up that dragon, and puts themselves in a rather advantageous position. They had mid prio as well, so picking up that tower, they could move up towards this Rift Herald as well. Rice Lover, that tower has like double-digit HP. Just let me see.
Just blow on it.
It has 20.
Just go up. Just walk up to the Leona. Just blow on it. Come on, I'm begging you.
Yubi could have auto-attacked it. Come on.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, Rice Lover. Now it's too late, and Rice Lover might be in some trouble here. Okay, gonna do that arcane shift away. But yeah, I mean, it's right there. Come on. Someone just walk up and blow on it. Zoe, just get in there, throw an auto attack on it through like a portal or something. Come on.
It's 500 gold that actually would go really well into both Rice Lover and Gracefish's pocket, but now Rice Lover is at like half HP, and that tower is going to stay for a little bit longer. It also prevents them from picking up this Rift Herald, and it may just prevent it from being taken altogether because it is going to be a little bit on the back end of it. Vision of Empire going in.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of damage. The combo is pretty good. Saber's waifu's coming in as well. That's going to be a Solar Flare coming across. Going to slow down Koyo Coco for just a little bit longer. But now Vision of Empire is taking up the turret. Have to be careful. He's going to take one more. Oh, no, but here comes TDR Chimes. He's got a shield, though. Can he get away? That's a yes. Oh, he's out of there. Saber's waifu, are you safe, though? No. TDR Chimes is going to be killing the Leona instead, as that's going to be the bullet time and make it rain coming down. Haru now has to run for their life because Zoe is here as well and does a whole lot of damage. Don't want to get hit by that Paddle Star.
Hit the tower.
Yeah, now hit the tower. Please.
Wait,
I'm begging you. You don't need 4 people for the Rift Herald. Trust me. Just go blow on the turret. I'm begging you.
Come on. It's not even like it's a bad thing to keep that tower up either. Because, I mean, it prevents them from moving the wave closer to them, but did they just...
It's right there. It bothers me.
Did they just pop the rift? Hopefully that goes top. Where? Wait. Where is this rift going?
Okay, no. It's going top lane. It just doesn't want to go through the center of the river for some reason.
It might not even.
There's a whole lot of red members up around this tribe rush here. They're looking for the engagement on a TDR Chimes. They might be able to find a Vision of Empires here. There's a good stun to start things off. Oh, no. Talon is drowsy. Saber's wife who's going to body block that now. That's a great Everfrost engagement onto Caps here. Now they're looking for Gracefish, who's trying to run away. Surisai is going to get the rare Yuumi ultimate on the Silas here. Ooh, that's like a holographic Charizard. That's pretty cool. As now they're looking for TDR Chimes here, taking incredibly low. Let's find that last bit of damage. Absolutely. Saber's Waifu's going to be the one picking up the kill this time. It's a 2 for nothing up in the top lane. They even cleared the Shelly before she could charge as well. So pretty good moves by Imperial Knights Blue here up in this top lane.
And just want to point out a fun fact here is that Haru's been in this mid lane just kind of vibing against Rice Lover, and it's working out really well for this Misfortune. She's able to consistently chunk out Rice Lover, who has to always use those Divine Thunder procs to try and heal back up, but Haru's getting the better of this trade, starting to deal some damage to the turret as well, consistently pushing in that wave. And this sort of could have been averted just if, you know, Rice Lover autoed the tower once. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're fighting out. The Lost Chapter comes across. Haru has actually taken a whole lot of damage here. That's going to be the Q from Yumi as well. Decent chunk of damage. So Haru finally has to walk away, and maybe after all this time, we can finally get that outer mid turret.
At this point, it's just an obsession for us because we just want them to take it. Gracefish!
Ooh, yeah, Gracefish is in some trouble. Has to use that heal. The Solar Flare comes out as well. Can't bind up just yet, but TDR Chimes is here to answer. The red turret is finally going to be destroyed by the minions on the back line here, but Rice Lover is still looking for some more. Gracefish dives onto TDR Chimes, but the red team has peeled off. Vision of Empires now in this mid lane as well. Let's see if the red team wants to fight. This dragon is spawning relatively soon. Let's see if they can get some decent damage here. Side trying to run away there. Flashes away. Gonna pick up that Wukong ultimate. Gonna go golden now. Koyo Coco full HP looking for the reactivation. Side heals up just a little bit more. Tries to use the blast cone to get away, but Koyo Coco's gonna follow him. So that's gonna be Zoe picking up the kill though, as now Saber's Waifu, Cypher Soul, Haru and Vision of Empire are now have to fight away the rest of Team Death Realm here. 5 members strong, still looking to pick up this dragon here that's spawning in just 14 seconds. Saber's Waifu is taking incredibly low, gonna be slowed down as well. Let's see if they want to engage. Looks like a no. They're going to Drake.
Yeah, they're able to pick up a kill onto a really key member there. Srisai not going to be able to participate in this fight, and this is going to be sole point for the side of Team Death Realm, despite them having lost a lot of their gold lead and actually being behind about 1,500 gold. Oh my goodness!
Ooh, they have to body block for Leona, but luckily that Paddle Star doesn't land. But now Vision of Empire is in some troubles. They're flashing forward. But gonna get slowed up by the Talon here, so they're not gonna be able to follow up on that. So there looks like the red team is just resetting here, and the blue team is going to do as well.
Yeah, that was actually a really scary Sleepy Trouble bubble coming through onto Saber's Waifu, forced the flash out, but in the end, it actually puts the side of Imperial Knights Blue in a really precarious situation. They're down. Or they're up 2,000 gold, but they're down 3 dragons, and Infernal Soul has a lot of potential, especially when you aren't running a tank like the side of Team Death Realm are. They really want to sort of put the death into their name and put it onto the enemy team there, because they are going to be doing a lot of damage, and this game is a lot closer than I think Imperial Knights Blue were expecting it to be. Thus, we're given this situation where they have to be contesting these dragons. They got to start making some really proactive plays around the map as well.
Yeah, it does mean that they're going to have to basically be forced to prioritize these dragons. I know that Imperial Knights Blue has been kind of prioritizing these most recent ones, but now they kind of have to be on top of it. Like Saber's Waifu is on top of Rice Lover here. They're looking for an engage here. The rest of the team is here to follow up. The Soul Flare comes across, but the flash is good. Gracefish and Chubby Scout are on the side here, looking for a huge chunk of damage onto the cat. She's going to go down. Saber's Waifu is going to be the one picking up the kill. But now they're in a precarious position. Srisai's no longer golden, trying to peel away. Not going to be able to use that Graves ultimate to survive just a little bit longer. So they're going to go 1 for 1 as Koyo Coco looking for Vision of Empire. Not going to be able to find it. Make It Rain comes down, but it looks like both teams are good.
And really good play coming out from Saber's Waifu to get over that wall. Oh my goodness, the damage onto Haru.
Oh, yeah, they're looking to fight now for sure. Here comes the bullet time across, going to do a decent chunk of damage, but not going to be able to find any kills. Rice Lover picks up 1. Wukong picks up 2. That's going to be his 3rd one picked up for the Ezreal here. Double kill now. Can they find more? It looks like they're not going to look for it. They're just going right for Baron.
And that was really well played from the Ezreal. Been waiting a long time to see this Ezreal kind of pop off the score sheet, but finishing up that Mira mana, fully stacked up, and is able to find a really slow fight to start off, which gives Rice Lover the time to stack up the Conqueror, and once you go in, you've got a whole chunk of damage on your side. So this Ezreal was dishing out the damage, and despite Yumi not really being around for that fight. They had enough of a front line with Koyo Koko to be able to sort of survive the initial burst and the bullet time coming through, and unfortunately for Vision of Empire, wasn't able to get into that fight as successfully as we expected. And that gold lead all of a sudden now in favor of Team Deathrealm once again, up basically what the Baron is worth.
Yeah, and it should be noted that, like, I think with Yumi here, I think it counts for, like, I don't know if she can still buff the minions, but it might feel like one less, because wherever Yumi is, like, unless the person that she's tethered to doesn't have a Baron buff, and it might as well just be one less, because she's just always going to be there. As now Koyo Koko might be in some trouble here. That's a good stun onto the Wukong here. He's going into the bush, trying to juke around. That's going to be the Everfrost coming across, but it's not going to stun. Going to snare anyone up, as Vision of Empire is going to be the one picking up the kill. Saber's wife, who has found out TDK times here, is now he's trying to get away. Let's see if they can get the last bit. Solar Flare going to land the stun here. There is the CC from Riven and Silas as well. They pick up 2 kills in the bot lane. That's huge. That's 2 less Baron buffs for the blue team.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to see out of Imperial Knights Blue. They lose that Baron, but they're able to play around their side lane so well. And I have to give a big shout out here to... I always give out big shoutouts. Why don't I give out medium-sized shoutouts? I'll give out medium-sized shoutout here to Saber's waifu. 2, 3, and 10 on this Leona. 93% kill participation, if my math is correct. Just been everywhere on this map and really been a catalyst for the rest of their team to be able to get these advantages where they need them and be able to lock down those key members, because we know how slippery Graves can be. We know how slippery a Wukong can be, but when you put all of that crowd control down, it is so hard for them to get away, and it gives enough time for Vision of Empire and Suicide to catch up.
Yeah, and this is starting to get a little worse for the blue team in turn with regards to their oh, you have a bit of a pause, but that does mean we have a little bit more time to talk about the actual, like, Baron power play that the blue team is looking for here. With those losses in the bot lane, it was really kind of the onus onto Chovy Scout Caps to really do well in that top lane, to really be able to get their team ahead with this Baron buff, because the waves have just been shoving into Rice Lover and Gracefish in this mid lane here. They haven't really been able to push outwards from this tier 2 turret for a pretty long time.
Yeah, and I think the main thing is that right now their gold advantage their so-called Red Bull Baron power play, despite us not being sponsored by Red Bull, is only 300 gold, which is effectively the worth of a Baron buff onto one person, and that's what Chovy Scout Caps was able to get on that top side. So a lot of that gold has been going back into IKB's favor, and this is what they're so good at. They're so good at sticking around despite some challenges and difficulties along the way. They're able to keep themselves within striking distance, so that when their team comp is able to find that one team fight around a bullet timer, around a really good solar flare, they can capitalize to the full extent. TDR Chimes might be the one to get caught out here.
Yeah, that's going to be a good solar flare initiation here. Never mind, as there's not going to land. Now they have to run for the hills here. Koyo Koko looking for the initiate, going to be able to find it. That's 2 knockups on the Koyo Koko from Koyo Koko here. Is now it's turning into a 1v3. They're able to turn it into a 1-for-1 so far. The bullet time is pretty good, but they still need to find that last bit of damage. DDR Chimes is pretty low here. Haru Haru trying to 1v2. That's going to be Saber's waifu diving onto the graves, but not going to be able to get away this time, as Chimes is going to be the one picking up the kill. It's now 2-for-1. The red team has to contest this if they don't want to give away the Dragon Soul, but it looks like they're way too low. They're not going to do it, and Dragon, the Infernal Soul, goes over to Team Deathrealm.
And that lead that they now have is more than just what shows in terms of the gold. It's only 1,500, but that's just all 4 dragons. They've started that Elder Dragon timer, and you know, Chovy Scout Caps has been able to stay so safe here. Vision of Empire is going to go for a hero play, not be able to find it. Oh my goodness!
They're not gonna. They're not gonna leave the turret within gentle breeze HP here. They're finally gonna take it down. Yeah, and this is gonna be a decent play for them. It's gonna be really tough. I think this Zoe is really gonna hurt. Like before she hurt, now with the Infernal Soul, it's just gonna hurt even more.
It's really difficult for the side of Imperial Knights Blue as well to be able to get on top of the Zoe because they don't have enough range. They've got 3 melees on their side, so they have to hard dive onto a Zoe who, at this stage, almost level 16, 3 items complete at this point effectively when she finishes up that RareAdam's, which she has enough gold for right now, is going to hit like a truck, and especially when she's cutting the healing of your frontliners of the Riven and Talon, who are so dependent on those Gore Drinker procs. Trophy Scout Caps is going to be so massive in these fights. You still have to worry about this Wukong jumping onto your Misfortune and canceling her ultimate. You have to worry about this Ezreal Yuumi just wreaking havoc on the back end of these fights. And Imperial Knights Blue, they're in a really tough position, but this isn't the first time we've seen them in a position like this, and we've seen them get out of this multiple times. So I'm curious to see how this happens. Srisai, though.
Yeah, it might not be starting here because TDR Chimes is going to pick up possibly the easiest kill I've seen all game onto Srisai here. As now, yeah, this is exactly kind of what I've been predicting here. This Zoe is just, you're going to get hit by 1 paddle star, and she was already doing 1 billion damage before. Now, she has a RareAdam's death cap, as y'all who've been watching Worlds probably know. That sound is Rice Lover is going to be caught out here, going to arcane shift away from the bullet time here, but now the Lost Chapter is going to lock up Saber's waifus. Look at this, DDR Chimes on the back line here, 1v2 and going to be able to pick up a kill for themselves. Vision of Empire gets a return kill, but now Koyo Coco is on the hunt. This Wukong's looking for more. That Hex Flash is going to put a little bit more distance between them, but it is a 1 for 3, and Koyo Coco, Rice Lover, Gracefish, and Chavi Scout Caps are just marching down this mid lane.
Yeah, and of note, Rice Lover got the full combo from MF and is full health at the end of it. Oh my goodness.
Okay, wow, that's a whole lot of damage. Koyo Coco is looking for the last bit, gonna be able to pick up the kill on a Srisai here, and yeah, that is the book is open and shut on that fight, and it might be open and shut on this game as well. They have 4 members. These turrets are going down super fast. I think game 1 is going over to Team Death Realm.
Yeah, and Team Death Realm just sort of showing us that they aren't to be trifled with. They are able to stack up a win condition in that Infernal Soul, and they get themselves a relatively clean win.
Yeah, it was a pretty good win for sure, and you know, they played this snowbally comp and were able to get ahead. Really hats off to them for sure from Team Death Realm here. Real good start to the game and real great finish as well. They had a lot of really good team fights, got some really good very early plays in order to accelerate them ahead. And yeah, they were able to come out on top.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a lot of kills onto their key members as well. You saw Chovy Scout Caps being able to really control that lane against Srisai, able to find some good kills around the map, around those objectives, and TDR Chimes just showed that sometimes you don't need to play the newest champion in the meta. You can play someone that has a little bit more tenure there and really put on a show, and that Graves was absolutely devastating. Looking at the damage chart there, of course we expect the Zoe to be up there, but Graves was actually the one who did the most damage.
Yeah, Graves, I mean, the Zoe damage when it came through was absolutely huge, but I agreed. Graves just did so much. That game was constantly dueling Cypher Soul within his own jungle and defending his own buffs. Like, he was playing very well and got a whole lot of kills that game, too. The second highest in the game overall was 7. Like, that's pretty good, if you ask me. And with 17 out of 22 kill participation, that's looking very good and very scary if you're Imperial Knights Blue going into this game too. But with that in mind, we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be in picks and bans of game 2 of Team Death Realm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello everyone, welcome back to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari and I'm joined by RareAdam, and tonight we have Team Deathrealm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Now if you're joining us for the first time, this is game number 2 of a block of 3 between these two games, which means no matter the results of this second game here, we are going to be going into a game 3. So, we are this game we are in game 2 right now. Of 3, and game 1 was won by Team Deathrealm, and now Imperial Knights Blue is gonna have to turn it around. Let's see how they do it. RareAdam, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready. I am very excited to see what they've got in store here. Of course, these teams are both just a delight to cast, and game 1 definitely caught us off guard. I think we were very expecting Imperial Knights Blue to come strong out of the gate, as we saw against UW Stout last week, and a little bit slow to start there. They had a good mid game, but late game, that Infernal Soul was just a little bit too over the top.
Yeah, they were playing a comp that was pretty snowbally, and then they got a gold lead and also the Infernal Soul. So that's just a recipe for disaster. But Imperial Knights Blue going to answer with the first pick, Yuumi.
Let's go!
Let's go!
Yuumi first pick again. I love this meta, but yeah. If you can't beat it, join it, I guess. Join the Yuumi clan.
Yeah, it's just, I think they're just trying to do their best to put Gracefish on the back foot here as much as possible. Gracefish plays a lot of Nami, like 206 games this season, but for everything afterwards, it's single digits of games played, right? I don't doubt that Gracefish can't play other enchanters, but like, you know, it's just night and day between like the experience that they have this particular season on these other champions. So I think this might be a Sona lock-in here. It's gonna be Lulu. Okay.
This is interesting because to me, Lulu is a little bit lower priority with Misfortune, because a lot of the times Misfortunes go for that Eclipse build, they go for the lethality build. Of course, we have seen, or last game at least, we saw the Immortal Shield bow come out, but a lot of times Misfortunes can stack up that lethality, especially when you're facing now what you see as a Lucian, which is a little bit harder to auto attack down. You want to just get a couple auto attacks, walk away with your love tap there, and kind of let that damage stick a little bit more. But Lulu, in that sense, gives you that extra oomph on the first couple of auto attacks, but doesn't really help out your ultimate altogether. If this comes through, though, Cypher Soul did play a lot of this last season, and Udi are going to come into the mix. Definitely very easy to execute and can shut down that Misfortune ultimate in a hurry.
Yeah, it's just a little, I think it's a little awkward, because if you're going to look for Turbo Chem Tank here, then which I think is Udyr's best. I mean, it might just be like a, what? And where does the cylinder piece go? The square hole. And inside the square hole is Gore Drinker.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, if they really want to shut down the Misfortune, it might have to be the Turbo Chem Tank here, but with the Trundle lock-in, I don't know if I like that pick.
Well, here's my idea behind the Trundle. You can't cancel a Misfortune ult with a Trundle pillar if the Trundle's on your team, or can you?
Oh.
Regardless.
Okay.
Trundle coming through against Udyr is good, because if Udyr goes Aftershock, which is what they will sometimes do after the Phase Rush nerfs, you get to steal all those stats. If not, it's just really annoying for Lucian to deal with, because then you're slowed up in a Trundle pillar, and it can be very hard to get out of.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I am of the opinion that Trundle, you probably shouldn't pick unless the opposing team has a tank for you to steal stats from that's valuable, right? If Trundle isn't getting the most amount of stats from an opposing character, I really don't like the pick, right? And Imperial Knights Blue could just lock in Tom Kench here and give Trundle the perfect tank to steal stats from, or even Dr. Mundo, and maybe make me put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, they're going to lock in the Gangplank here, and there's just a whole lot of champions that aren't tanky, so his ultimate is not going to be as valuable. And if he's going, what is he going to walk up to a Rise and a Gangplank and expect nothing to happen?
Yeah, it's kind of like that old joke: a Rise and Udyr and a Gangplank walk into a bar. Trundle walks up to them and does absolutely nothing. At least that's what we're expecting. But this still could be Trundle in the top lane, which does play a little bit differently than Trundle in the jungle. This Gragas could be matching up into the Gangplank, which would be an interesting matchup for the Gangplank because it should be free grasp stacks in lane. It is what Gangplank still goes. But if it is Trundle, it means that Gangplank has to respect the early levels a lot more because Trundle can really all in a Gangplank at level 3, and it's so difficult for the GP to survive.
Yeah, and it's really tough. It's going to be really tough for us because Gragas throws out barrels and Gangplank puts barrels on the ground. There's just going to be way too many barrels in the top lane. So I would really appreciate it if this was like a Gragas just not in the top lane. That'd be dope. If y'all could really do this for me. Koyo Coco, don't burn me like this. Come on, man. Put that Trundle in the top lane. Oh, no, well, we won't see the pictures yet. They're still banning.
MF,
they have to go through all the bans in client.
Bot lane, Lulu mid lane, Gragas jungle, LeBlanc top.
Okay, so what if I said that we were going... what if instead we put Lulu top?
Season 5. Let's go.
Yeah. Season 5. Lulu top lane. Because, like, what is Gangplank going to do against a Lulu? Nothing. Like, he's going to try to put down the barrels, which then he has to max barrels first instead of Q. And then Lulu just, like, outranges him, and it's fine.
Oh, so you're actually going Season 5 where they did max barrels first.
I mean, but like now it's actually worth it, right? Because you get 5 barrels.
Yes, and I mean, I remember back in the day when you could, before they reverted it to only 3 barrels, you could get 5 barrels on Gangplank, and it was sort of like your rite of passage that at the end of every game you played on Gangplank, you built a pentagram, obviously, right? And you stand there, you drop your laughs around, and then you auto them, and it's like, okay, the Nexus explode. It's like, wow. Who would have thought that summoning that would have happened? But we'll get some more answers here. Obviously, Gangplank going up into that top lane, but I really like to see the Rise coming out from Srisai. It's a champion that scales incredibly well, is always sort of on the cusp of the meta no matter what, and provides a lot of wave clear and a lot of safety, especially into the LeBlanc, because if she jumps in, you can root her up and give your team that half second, that second just to shut her down before she can go back to her distortion and really one-shot her. You have a lot of burst damage on the side of Imperial Knights Blue this time around, and you can really turn on the jets on someone.
Yeah, not to mention Everfrost is a really, really good item as well. So yeah, like you said, like this Rise just having the CC in order to just lock LeBlanc in place if she decides to dive in is very, very important here. And you know, it's also going to make the Udyr ganks a whole lot better. Like, there's a lot of lanes that are pretty easy for this Udyr to gank here. I think the hardest lane for him to gank right now might be the bot lane, in my opinion, just because Lulu is like the second most anti-melee champion to exist in League of Legends.
Yes, I agree.
Number 1 is Janna.
Janna's one of my favorite champions. I love Janna.
Yeah. Janna's pretty good. We had her husband playing the other day.
We did. And we haven't seen Janna in the meta in like over a year now, and it kind of makes me sad because I really like when she's meta because you just run around the map, you press W on people, and you bully people in lane. But
you want to know what I think? I think if people keep picking Misfortune and they keep picking Lucian, then I think Janna Lucian might arise as a counter pick, right? Because if you can max shield, right, and you can just shield through the Misfortune damage, and then time your tornado to interrupt the Misfortune ultimate.
And I would normally say that's a good idea, but Yuumi exists.
Yuumi does exist, correct?
And Yuumi is just Janna shield except as a champion, and makes you go fast.
Yeah,
and throws out lots of waves, whereas Janna just knocks people away and knocks people up and charges you $295 a minute, whereas Yuumi is basically Yuumi will jump on you.
Is it $295?
It is $295 a minute according to her voice lines.
I'm looking this up. Where is this audio? Okay, here we go. Joke, yeah, forget it, yeah, 295 a minute. Look at that. That's expensive.
295 a minute's not that bad.
I
mean, depends on what you're planning on doing.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I don't know. That sounds expensive to me. A minute? It's like a half an hour is like, what, $90? A little less than that?
Yeah, I
That's
guess
pretty
so.
expensive.
Then again, it's Jana.
Man, I'm glad I wasn't. Man, I'm glad I wasn't cognizant in the 90s.
I wasn't cognizant in the 90s either. I wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
I was born with 4 months left in the 90s.
You dang zoomer. Let's talk about these lanes here. Let's talk about some of these champions before we get too sidetracked here. Yeah, I think we talked about the Trundle a little bit. We talked about the Udyr. We talked about the Gragas and Gangplank and how annoying that was. There's going to be a bunch of barrels. Yuumi Lucian looks to be the same about a Nami Lucian lane. Just this time you have a cat.
Yeah. Yuumi Lucian's sort of like the remix version of it. Nami Lucian is obviously the super meta combo that we've seen a lot at Worlds. I think we're going to see it for a while until either Lucian or Nami get nerfs, which I don't think is going to be until preseason, because they're like, you know what? Lucian was meta mid lane for like 3 years. Let's give him his time in the bot lane just for a little bit. So I like to see that come through, but effectively what it does is it just gives Lucian so much early game harass. I'm expecting Saber to go the more AP build, especially since if you can just stack the damage onto Misfortune Lulu in that early game, it really puts them behind, because Lulu takes a little bit longer to scale up. Her shield is nice in that early game, but it's not as nice as Yuumi, because Yuumi gives you a shield with herself, plus Aerie, plus the heal. It's a lot more than what Lulu can offer, so I think Haru and Saber's waifu should have a little bit of a fun time in this lane. I just want to see how aggressive they opt to go, because I think they have the ability to go as aggressive as they want.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just a little iffy to me, because the reason why Nami Yuumi is or Nami Lucian is so good is because Nami kind of enables the burst window for Lucian to be very explosive. I don't know if Yuumi really has the same thing, because she doesn't have any sort of like hard CC in her non-ultimate abilities. So we'll have to see how this plays out, but we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift for Game 2 of Team Death Realm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by RareAdam. We're on the Rift of Team Imperial Knights Blue versus Team Death Realm. We have a bit of an invade from the red team from Team Death Realm. Imperial Knights Blue is on the blue side. Doesn't look like they're able to get any wards down, but they do spot out Gangplank and Rise here. They might have smelled that the team might be going in the other direction here. Yeah, a whole lot of rank pings coming down on their blue side here. RareAdam, how you doing?
I am good. I am having a great time watching some cat gameplay. I remember when Yuumi was first released, I permabanned her, and now I've just joined the cult of Yuumi. I blame my Twitter timeline for that because there's too many Yuumi players there. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what this bot lane holds. I'm excited to see what this mid lane holds because Rise versus LeBlanc is sort of a classic matchup, I dare say, despite both of them being reworked a million times. And Gangplank versus Gragas, lots of barrels, as you said, and should be interesting to see how it goes. Of note, Cypher Soul did go Phase Rush, so no Aftershock cheese here today.
I do want to say this game probably has the most amount of old champions in it. Like, the newest champion here is Yuumi, right?
Yeah, I would say
Rise's original 40. I think Udyr's OG. I don't think Udyr's like original 40.
Udyr has pizza feet. He's OG enough.
Okay, yeah, he's old enough. Yeah. Poor guy is still running around on those shoes that don't make sense.
Yeah, the fact that every one of these champions here, except for the supports, has been reworked at one time or another. And Udyr, of course, getting reworked soon. Kind of shows.
Okay, we're getting some burst damage onto Rice Lover here. Gonna get a whole good list. Level 2 from Imperial Knights Blue is insanely good here. Look at the HP bar. Rice Lover now has to now hug the turret. This is not looking good. Has to start chucking those potions as well.
Yeah, just lots of damage coming out from Lucian in that early game. This is sort of what you expect. This is why Lucian was strong in the mid lane as well. You had a lot of level 2, level 3 potential, and when you toss on top of that a Yuumi, who has a surprising amount of lane presence because she acts as if almost as if it's a second ADC health bar as opposed to like her own health bar. We'll get back to that point.
Yeah, Vision of Empire here is going to be in a whole lot of trouble. I don't think you're going anywhere. Gragas is going to be the one picking up that first blood in the top lane. It's Vision of Empire. Once again, game 2 being the repeat of game 1, having some trouble in this top lane.
Yeah, Gangplank is a little bit tough into Trundle specifically because your oranges don't do anything against them. Rice Lover. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some trouble here as we do have a Udyr is in the area, but I don't think they're gonna turret dive them anytime soon.
Flash Bear
Haru and Saber's waifu might look for it though. Rice Lover's real low, but here comes TDR Chimes into the mid lane. They're looking for Srisai here. The bind is going to work. Flash forward. Chomp. Whack him with the troll pole. Oh. Can he get more? Looking for the last bit of damage. Goes through, but is not going to be able to get away from the Trundle this time. It's now at 1-for-0 in the mid lane as this Trundle is just roaming from the top to bottom on this map, getting kills every lane. Is now Vision of Empire looking for Koyo Coco here and taking incredibly low. That Gragas does not have any mana going to back away here. Cypher Soul. Oh my gosh, okay. Almost lost that Scuttle Crab to Gracefish.
Yeah, Gracefish just being that little annoying Yordle that she is. Almost got it, but yeah, as I was saying, in that bot lane, Lucian does have early priority. You saw that it was forced Rice Lover to go back early. Oh my goodness, wait a sec.
Oh yeah, Srisai's diving on a Chovy here, taking incredibly low on the side. That last bit of damage is going to be the bounce, picking out the kill. Srisai picks up a kill in the mid lane. That does put Imperial Knights Blue on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and really well played by Srisai now, looking to freeze this wave and force the teleport out to Chovy Scout. Caps actually didn't teleport back to lane themselves, but saving that flash from earlier when the Trundle came through to be able to pick up that kill is really well played from Srisai. Good use of resources there to just make sure that nothing went Ahri.
Ooh, here comes Cypher Soul here. Flash Bear Slap, the oldest trick in the book. Chovy Scout is taken pretty low here. It's still above 50% health. Cypher Scout is looking for that next bit of damage. Still doesn't have the movement speed. Has to keep going. Bear Stance pressed again. There's the slap. Let's see if they can get the damage here, but they're hitting the right LeBlanc. And the last bit of damage comes through. Vision of Empire going to be able to pick up the kill here. Now Koyo Coco's in some trouble. Here comes Trundle. Cypher Soul going to be able to go down here. Now TDR Chimes is looking for more. He still does some good damage here. Srisai might fall, but Vision of Empire is going to give them a run for their money here. Going to try to turn it around, but not going to be able to find it this time. It's a 2 for 2 up in this top lane. LeBlanc and Trundle go down, and Udyr, or I guess a 2 for 1, right?
Yeah, the Imperial Knights Blue are able to even it up on that top side and sort of taking advantage of the power points of Ryze in the early game, which sounds weird because it's such a late game scaling champion, but having that root on a relatively low cooldown and relatively easy to hit means that Ryze can set up really well for Udyr and Gangplank to do some damage. And with the Grasp, it still does a decent amount on that parlay despite the nerfs to it, making it a ranged auto attack. Means that Vision of Empire has a better time in this top lane, forcing out the Seeker's Arm Guard first from Koyo Koko.
Yeah, it's gonna be just it's such a feels bad when your first back has to be a Seeker's Arm Guard, right? It's not the end of the world, right? You're able to get a decent chunk of defensive stats, but it's not an item that builds into a Mythic. And I don't know if Zhonya's Hourglass is as useful for Gragas as it would be another champion, right? You really want to be looking for your Rocket Belt, maybe a Demonic Embrace. You want to be kind of going like this kind of half bruiser, AP bruiser kind of build, but you know, the Zhonyas might be a little not out of left field, but maybe a pivot in not the most ideal direction.
I think the main thing is that usually for Gragas, you want to get ability haste, and what you'll see often is Everfrost coming through, even you'll see Ludens come through. To see the Seeker's Arm Guard first, it means that you have to sort of wait to build your Mythic, and I think that's a big thing because Gragas does get a little bit of a power spike. Once you get that Everfrost, you have combo potential. As you said, the Rocket Belt gives you combo potential. Ludens just gives you a crap ton of damage, so it's a little bit of a side grade there, but it's sort of the same scenario as what Suicide is doing with the Merc Tread's first item.
Vision of Empire, TDR Chimes fighting up in this top lane here. Vision of Empire having to run for their life here because any more chomps from Trundle are definitely going to hurt. Looks like Trundle's just going to reset here. Is here just a little bit before this this Rift Herald spawns. It's going to spawn at about a little less than 20 seconds now as this bot lane looking for a fight. Just going to scare them off the minions for now.
And a really interesting part about this game thus far is a lot of tier 2 boots getting upgraded early here. Both Gangplank and Udyr going for those Ionian boots and the Merc Treads onto Ryze. So really trying to prioritize that movement speed as quickly as possible to maybe get some more rotations off. It's not really about the damage. It's more so just about being there to do the damage.
Yeah, Vision of Empire might be in some trouble though. There's going to be explosive cast, but here comes the cannon fire up at the top. Our Cypher Soul is coming in as well. That's going to be one. Can he get the second? He's pretty fast. That passive is going to speed him up a whole lot. Thanks to the bear stance too. That's a double kill for the Udyr in the top lane. Someone called Trick 2G. These gates might be open up relatively soon. Cypher Soul coming in here telling you how to do the Oda my way. As in the bot lane, we're going to throw out the bullet time here. Not going to be able to find the kill in the Haru, but Rice Lover is looking for more. Can they get the kill? Nope. They're going to get shielded up. They're both going to reset. Rice Lover, wait a minute. That's going to be the Culling coming across. Can they find the last bit of damage? Rice Lover goes down. Haru picks up a kill. And after that extended fight, we're going to toss it back to RareAdam. What's up?
Wow. A lot just happened there. Actually, I like the use of the barrier just to make sure Haru can be a little bit healthier and not be as scared to take these plates down. But really well played on the bot side there. Rice Lover a little bit overextended on the re-engage there. Didn't have a whole lot of mana. You saw it being taken advantage of as Haru hits that level 6 mark. But up on the top side there, Cypher Soul was level 7 to TDR Chimes level 5 during that engage. And I think that just speaks to Udyr as a champion more than anything. But Srisai in the mid lane once again.
Yeah, in some trouble here. TDR Chimes is coming across, but he's going to have to leave the Trundle zone in order to fight Srisai here. Here comes the Realm Warp. He's out of there. Not going to be able to chomp down that mage this time. The Blue Man group is now touring in a different area as they're going to leave and no kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, Srisai lives on like 20 HP. That was really well played overall. Knew that there wasn't any crowd control left to come through, and that chain was frames away. If you want to talk about those like 2-frame tricks in Melee, that was a 2-frame trick in League where you have ping to deal with. So, you know, if the ping is a little bit lower for Chovy Scout Caps or something, if they're playing in Korea, that's a kill for the LeBlanc, but instead, Srisai gets out.
Yeah, Vision of Empire here looking to pressure TDR Chimes here. Does a good job of it. TDR Chimes does have to run for the hills here. Gonna go look over to those Krugs and not a kill onto the Gangplank.
Yeah, and Gangplank's just really happy in this lane state right now, up about 20 CS, and with Gangplank's passive on the parlay, meaning that they get a little bit more, or they get a lot more gold overall, the Pirate's going to be plundering the booty and drinking the grog from Gragas, so feels good down there as Haru is going to continue to try and put down the hurt in this bot side, or else.
Yeah, it's good polymorph. If the bullet time comes down as well, but Haru is insanely low here.
Ooh.
Yumi's going to detach, but that's a wild growth. Great Fish is going to be able to figure out that last bit of damage, but here comes Srisai. That's going to be the cannon fire as well. Roots him up inside of it as well. Rice Lover taken incredibly low. Can they find the last bit of damage? Yes, absolutely. Srisai is going to be the one picking up the kill, and that's a whole bunch of assists as well.
Yeah, I read the runes, you lose, as Srisai just pulls up and picks up a kill for themselves. Unfortunately, Haru goes down and burns the flash. I think that last auto attack was chasing him, and Saber's waifu did use the heal as well, but Lulu's got to be careful because they can catch up.
Yeah, Srisai is still looking for more here, but it doesn't look like they want to dedicate anymore because there's a whole bunch of folks on the red team coming down, and they have Srisai and Saber's waifu's number. If they want to fight, if they want to chase and get kills, they need to leave now. Okay, here they come. Here comes LeBlanc coming in from the Tri Brush here. Caught out Srisai. Oh, no. There's the chain. There's the Trundle Pillar. Not going to be able to get out of this one. The Blue Man group goes down, and they're going to be able to get that shut down. Meanwhile, Blue team throws out the Herald that, you know, direct-to-camera doesn't like to show us into the mid lane, so they might be able to grab this first turret.
Yeah, they pick up 3 or 4 plates off of that, actually, so really well used. Of course, not all from Shelly, but just from how low that tower was to begin with. They're going to give up this dragon, but this game it's not as dire. They're giving up an Ocean Dragon. It's before Soul, and they picked up the first dragon of the game, so all things considered, this game's looking a lot better for Imperial Knights Blue on the blue side. I dare say their name is having a little bit of a factor to do with it, but now Haru's in trouble.
Yeah, Haru falling into the same trap Srisai did just a little moment ago, trying to turn the kill around on a Gracefish, but not going to be able to find it this time. They get buried 6 feet under. Thank you, Death Animation. Going to go down. It's a 1-for-0 up there, but now Cypher Skull and Yumi are here. Let's so much damage onto the Misfortune. Not even going to be able to get away this time. Lost Chapter. Insanely good spell, turns out.
Yeah. Just turning up the book, and I am so disappointed in both of these teams because both of these Yumis are going for the Enchantress build, but holy moly, they spotted out that Lulu from a mile away. Look at the build from Udyr. I like this. This is a lot better than the boring Turbo Chem Tank we were seeing at the beginning of the season where Udyr was just a stun bot. Cypher Soul is going to be doing some damage this game with this Divine Sunderer, means that any sort of bruiser build is going to be punished.
Ooh, yeah, he's doing so much damage to Chavi Scout Camp, but can't stay under turret for too long here. I love that Yumi now. So this is actually really why I like Yumi a whole lot. A whole lot of supports after first back have been leaving the bot lane and just kind of roaming around. Yumi is one of the best roaming supports because she can just latch onto whoever, and then you're going for a ride. It's just easy to go from there, right? Like, it's got to be one of the best roaming supports up there with, like, Bard, right?
Yeah, as a support main, like, a lot of the times I'll go for first back, second back, and just start walking mid lane, as opposed to walking bot lane, because you never know. Maybe they go for a gank, and all of a sudden you're in the right place, right time, and they're like, oh, they're on a reset timer. They're coming back bot lane. Nope, I'm going top lane instead. Bard has a different style of roaming where you know they're roaming. Yumi is sort of like you jump onto their jungler and you don't see them for 30 seconds, and all of a sudden the Yumi's top lane, and you're like, well, I mean, I guess they didn't really leave our sight because we knew they were on the jungler and we knew what the jungler was, but at the same time, you know, it's a little bit more stealthy in that sense. But top side, more action. Oh, wow. Vision of Empire.
Ooh, yeah. Actually dodges out of the explosive cast there. Flashes forward looking for Koyo Koko, who's insanely low here. Here comes Srisai as well. Gonna root them up inside the Gangplank ultimate here. Chovy tries to dive in, but doesn't want to go into the Gangplank ultimate. But Vision of Empire still on the wrong side of this map here. He might still want to fight here as they're continuing to pressure this turret here, forcing the team to come to them. This turret is going to go down. Chavi Scout Caps looking for the engage. Gets a decent chunk of damage on the Srisai here. Do they want to re-engage? It looks like a no. The blue team is going to be picking up the top turret. They're going to be picking up the bot turret. And I think they might just roam mid and take up that mid turret as well because it is pretty low.
Yeah. Vision of Empire played that really well. Was able to dodge away from the... oh my goodness! Yumi's
wait a minute, yeah. Yeah, there comes out the culling onto Rice Lover here, taking it. Oh my gosh, so low. That shield comes out a little late though. Koyo Coco is here in the spotlight as well. Cypher Soul is looking for Chovy Scott caps here, but might just find the Gragas. He's going to blast cone over the wall to try to join their team. Cypher Soul still on the hunt, looking for these folks, but they're going to keep backing away, keep trying to run away. They're now looking for Chovy Scout caps again, who might be in some trouble here. Rise throwing out some damage. Cypher Soul is just walking up and blowing on the turret. Okay.
Yeah, this is interesting rotations because both Koyo Coco and Chovy Scout caps teleport down to the bot side, but no Gragas ultimate. LeBlanc doesn't have a completed item yet, so the teleports were a little bit ambitious to say the least. Misfortune was taken down incredibly low just by that culling, but Saber's waifu coming in with the Yumi flank. I think that's the best use of Yumi ult I've seen in a while, just because it was a solo, not attached to anyone, and just walking up to the enemy AD carry. So overall, good play from the side of Imperial Knights Blue because they're keeping up the pressure. And the biggest thing is that they're just starving Death Realm out of any sort of resources. There's so much vision in their own jungle that they can't clear out. And this gold lead right now is starting to climb increasingly fast. Almost 7,000 gold at 16.5 minutes. Last game, it was close for both of these teams until about 26 minutes. Now Gracefish is just going to die.
Ooh, yeah, Gracefish is in a whole lot of trouble here. Has to use the wild growth on themselves, and I think you take that trade every day of the week. You didn't use an ultimate, and Lulu has to use theirs, which a long time ago got a pretty big nerf to the cooldown here. Is now on cooldown for the next minute and a half here, which means when the next dragon fight happens, which is in less than 20 seconds, about 15 seconds now, they're not going to have wild growth.
And a lot of times, we'll get back to that point after.
Ooh, yeah, Realm Warp right on top of Rice Lover here underneath the turret. There's the double root, the damage as well. 3 size underneath turret, no more. They're going to be able to find that kill. And now, with this dragon spawn, they're down an AD carry, down a support ultimate, and they might not be able to take this fight now as Vision of Empire fighting Chovy Scout caps here, but it looks like they're just backing away as the blue team makes their way over to the Drake. Picks it up easy peasy. They're going to trade it for the Rift Herald, though.
And I know a couple people who would have really liked the build coming out from Vision of Empire. This is Trinity Force, Yomu's Ghostblade, no Divine Sunderer here. None of that, baby builds on Gangplank. How to think of the right word to say, because, we are on stream. But regardless,
yeah, we're on stream.
This is good to see coming out from this Gangplank. Going to be stacking up a lot of that damage. Almost a 50 CS lead up on the top side. 2 completed items already. And this Gangplank's going to continue to scaling the longer this game goes on. It's not as if Gangplank falls off. Going to be building up more damage as it goes on. And Haru right now is devastated. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, my. Okay, dashing around this a whole lot. Here comes the culling onto Chovy Scout caps here. That root onto Yumi means she can't tether to anyone just yet, but it is 4 versus 2 in this bot lane here. The wild growth comes out, but no one is able to find the kill onto Haru just yet. It might look for the re-engage because Vision of Empire is here. There comes the Gangplank ultimate. This could be huge. It looks like they're just peeling away here because the 5th member, TDR Chimes, is here as well. It's 5 versus 3 in this bot lane. Okay, TDR Chimes, here we go. That's the Trundle Pillar coming across, going to dash to the other side of it. They're doing a decent chunk of damage. The rest of the team is finally here. Haru might be able to find the kill into TDR Chimes. Taking incredibly low, but not going to be able to find the kill. They make it Rainmakers because Haru insanely slow. The last bit of damage is going to come out, and they're going to be able to finally get the kill onto the Lucian here after billions of years of kiting. They're finally able to get the kill, but there's 5 people bot lane. There's no one mid or top.
And the fun fact about that is that Haru's worth 273 gold. That's not even a full kill's worth of gold. Plus you get top tower, plus you get mid tower. You trade back bot tier 1 with the Rift Herald. And I think Srisai is going to be laughing back to the bank, just like his profile picture on Discord looks. It's like, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's Jerry, but
it's Tom.
It's
or
Tom.
No, it is Jerry. It's Jerry the cat. Oh, no, wait. Who's the cat? It's Tom, yeah?
Tom is the cat. Yeah, Tom is the cat.
Yeah, Tom's the cat.
But it doesn't look like Tom. It looks really sort of cynical.
No, he's smiling.
He's very smiling. And you know what Srisai is doing right now?
He's an old cartoon. Of course he looks weird.
He's got a smile the size of the state of New York right now because he just got that whole top side for himself. Cypher Soul, level 13 to the level 10. You can start spamming jungle diff in chat if you want, but actually, no, you can't because all chat's going to be disabled. Good thing we still get that in at least tournament draft games, like custom games. You still get all chat, but Yes.
Let's not start. Let's not comment on hot topics right now. I don't feel like engaging in discourse while commentating League of Legends. I actually enjoy my time here.
Unlike the people in all chat.
Okay, fudge. Man.
There's so many memes from League in the last like week.
Yeah.
You know, with we haven't over.
We have one in this game
in League of Legends.
Oh wait, never mind. Haru. Throwing out the calling here. Cypher Soul flashes forward. Gonna have to use that wild growth in order to turn them off just a little bit. The bullet time to try to stave them off, but not going to happen this time. They pick up the kill and walk away. Koyo Coco, Chovy Scout Caps, and TDR Chimes are here. Here comes the Lost Chapter, but it's kind of pointed in the wrong direction. Haru's in some trouble. They're going to be the one going down. TDR Chimes is now looking for more, but it looks like they're just going to loop around here. Cypher Soul definitely wants to fight. Look at him sitting in this brush here. Hey, let's see if they can find anyone here. They're still roaming around as this bot lane is pushing pretty well. Cypher Soul still looking. Okay, there's the body slam here. Not going to find the stun, though. Cypher Soul going to be knocked into the air by the Trundle Pillar. Look at Koyo Coco's HP bar just immediately goes down. This is going to be the Realm War coming down, but it doesn't look like. Okay, Street Size in there, but now the rest of the team's run for the life. Going to use Explosive Catch to train away, but Cypher Soul is so insanely fast. Rice Lover trying to run for the life, but can't quite get away. Now, let's see if Cypher Soul can get in there. That's going to be the Bear Slap here. So much damage onto Chovy Scout Caps. They still can't find the last bit of damage. They're now underneath turret, snared up, polymorph, killed, shut down. Koyo Coco picks it up. Saber's wife, who now has to run for their life. Is my God, that is the longest. Look at where Miss Fortune is right now. She was running around Tribush and toppling 2 seconds ago. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna put my camera on top of Miss Fortune. Where is she going?
She's out of there.
Where are you going? She's back. That's like a Mario. That's like a Mario Kart race at that point. It's like just Misfortunes in front. Everyone else is picking up like the green shells to try to chase them here. Now that's the Gangplank ultimate coming down to Koyo Coco here, but they're going to be able to body slam away. That's Trundle Pillar coming across, but it looks like they're just going to use this opportunity to get Dragon priority and pick up this third Drake, which is another Infernal Drake for them.
Yep, and this is good because, surprise, this is a team that has a whole lot of damage on their side, and you know what Dragon is best for damage champions? It's Infernal Soul. Cypher Soul, on the other hand, is so fast. Like, just sprints around the map with this Yuumi and just wreaks havoc everywhere they go. It's just been so funny because you saw that 2v3
He needs to go faster.
And if
I need you to build a Youmuu's Ghostblade.
I mean, Youmuu's Ghostblade is a good item right now, so
yeah.
I don't. Think
I think we talked about last stream how Deadman's Blade is no longer good, but
yes,
Cypher Soul, Youmuu's Ghostblade,
Youmuu's Ghostblade. We'll put Force of Nature there because it's.
Oh, you have to take damage for that to get movement speed. Youmuu's Ghostblade.
Yeah, Youmuu's
Ghostblade. You press button, go fast.
Yuumi switches to Shurelya's. You get him.
Yeah.
You get a QSS because QSS gives you movement speed for that 1 second. And you cheat the game and get Ghost instead of Flash, and then you go very fast. You put a Zillion in the game, etc., etc.
Yes.
Baron's going down.
Yep, Baron's going down pretty quick here. They do have a lot of damage. The red team is looking to respond. They have all 5 members here. Gangplank is in the bot side, though. If they want to fight, they need to do it now. They need to press the trigger. They just need to gather. But the blue team has done such a good job of gathering all 5 members here. And now they need to stop the backs. They need to keep them from getting back into this base here because Gangplank is pushing onto the inhibitor turret. This is such a good call. They're back inside the pit here. And they continue to do. They gotten 1 turret so far. They have to choose. Red team, you gotta choose. Are you going to stop the Gangplank or are you going to stop the Baron? You gotta choose.
A little bit up. Never mind. Haru's back to half HP because of Yuumi. Yeah, Gangplank is just gonna sit in that side lane and has the ultimate to potentially influence, but looks like they're gonna make the engage and fight.
Yeah, that's going to be the bullet time coming across 3 side. Goes golden. Going to take up just a little bit of damage. Here comes the Gangplank teleport in. That's going to be the culling coming across. Look at TDR Chime's health pool. He's going real down, real fast. As Cypher Soul is now going to chase the remaining carries on the red team. Rice Lover taking incredible. That's going to be a bear slap. 1, 2, 3. Double kill for the Udyr here. Now finds a stun into LeBlanc. As she's dashing away, going to have to use that blast cone to get away from this big boy. As Vision of Empire cancels the teleport, picks up the inhibitor, and now they're just going to run back to Baron, I think.
Yeah, I got canceled out by Koyo Koko's body slam there, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure Vision of Empire still had a big impact in that fight. First of all, forcing the Gragas to go back, and then use the ultimate to really slow down the push forward from TDR Chimes, and Rice Lover took a bunch of damage from that. Suicide really good on that stop push to stall out the fight. Now they're just going to be able to pick up that Baron with that bot lane pressure being forced by the inhibitor, and they've got themselves what will be a 12,000 gold lead. This is a incredible gold lead coming out from... Oh, wait a sec.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Goodness. Okay, yeah. They're going to be able to secure that Baron despite a little bit of a questionably late smite coming through from Cypher Soul. But that is a 12,000 gold lead for them.
Yeah, I would have become the Joker if Cypher Soul had lost it there. That's my Joker origin story.
Our faces would have contorted to match that of Suicide's.
Yeah. I've just been like, huh, yeah. That's what we're losing. That's what we're losing, Baron. I have only stolen Baron with like something cheeky once, and it was a Thresh auto attack. Like, that's the only time I've ever done a cheeky steal of Baron. But yeah, if Gragas had stolen it with that explosive cask, I probably would have screamed and rolled over and maybe cried a little bit. But Cypher Soul is on the hunt, and they have no idea this Udyr is running through their jungle right now, and Rice Lover's in some trouble, flashes forward. That's going to be the snare from Lost Chapter as well. They're still on the hunt. That's going to be the... Oh my god, they use Wild Growth as well. Cypher Soul still looking for more, going to be able to kite backwards, but now Haru's in some trouble now. TDR Time's doing a whole lot, but that's going to be tethering over to the Lucian now. Cypher Soul is now in some trouble as Liumi's now going to dash over to the Udyr. Now they're trying to get away. The lifeline shield is huge. Can they get out of there? They're so fast. They're all flashing. Cypher Soul, can you get out of there? Yeah, they can't quite find out. TDR Chimes, you're in a bad spot, gonna get hit by the barrel there, and now they have a teleport coming in as well. Srisai has joined the fight. Now Yumi, oh my gosh, they're gonna flank them. Here comes Srisai. Ooh, Vision of Empire on the backside here. That's gonna be the Everfrost coming down to Koyo Koko, goes golden. They're gonna look for more. That's gonna be a double kill for the Gangplank now, as Cypher Soul has just been tanking up this turret one after another. Look at the damage onto Gracefish as well. Holy moly! They just do so much damage. They died to a cannon minion.
And the Vision of Empire does so much damage. I'm pretty sure the Trial by Fire did 400 damage to Chobi Scout Caps there, and then the Collector finished it up. What a comeback game from Vision of Empire. After a little bit of a rough game one, they just show up on this Gangplank and absolutely dick slap Koyo Koko in the top lane.
You know, we'll probably be fine for that.
You know what?
But you know what? I really have no other way to describe what I just witnessed. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
That's what take notes, kids. That's what happens when you build lethality Gangplank. It is so risky. It's so greedy to do, but ooh when it hits. Ooh when it hits. Ooh. Holy moly. That was oh my god, that game. I just wish Cypher Soul went faster. I just wish those Ionian boots were like Swifties or something.
No shot. Look at the damage graph.
Okay, let me take a look at the damage graph.
No shot.
God, 27. It's not even close. Lucian's not even close to how much damage Gangplank did that game.
We thought Rise was doing damage.
Yeah, we thought Rise was doing damage. Rise was not doing damage. Oh my god. It's just really not even close.
Series is tied up. We got it.
Yeah, the series is all tied up. We're going to a game 3. This is looking really... Look, this was such a good game from Imperial Knights Blue here. I want to dial it back just a little bit, right? We were... Right? So, the big thing here is that Imperial Knights Blue had a bit of a shaky start, especially in the top lane. Vision of Empire was receiving a bit of attention from TDR Chimes, excuse me. And Cypher Soul wasn't really able to get a whole bunch of ganks on early, and Haru was getting pretty bullied once we got to the mid game. There was caught out on a bunch of odd positions. But really they were able to really grab hold of this game in the mid game and really be able to turn it around fairly quickly as well. So this was just a very, very good game by Imperial Knights Blue here. So I am really excited to see what they're going to do in game 3. But don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with game 3 of Team Death Realm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by RareAdam. We have Imperial Knights Blue and Team Death Realm for y'all this evening. We're in Game 3, and after an explosive Game 2 win by Imperial Knights Blue, who are confusing me with their meme name in Pro Draft, are ready probably to get a Game 3 win. But you know what? Both these teams are looking to get a win in this game. It would put them 2-1 over their opponent. And it's looking pretty good so far as picks and bans are pretty much done with the first ban phase here. And we're ready to get underway. RareAdam, my co-caster for this evening. How you doing? Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. I've enjoyed this series thus far. Been really fun to see what comes out. Imperial Knights Blue. They switched it from Imperial Red Knights last time to Imperial Knights Red, and now I'm confused even more. I'm curious to see if Yuumi gets first picked again.
Yeah, I mean, it's up. It's available. Team Death Realm, you know, they used it to success in Game 1. It's on the board.
Pause.
Let's see. Oh, we're waiting. Bated breath. Here we go.
Yeah.
Are they going to pick the Yuumi? Survey says
Pause
Oh.
champ.
Okay. Hey, there it is.
And I'm
Pause.
assuming we get a misfortune, right?
Yeah. Pause for dramatic effect. And
Because I mean, on Sunday, all 3 games that we had then were all misfortune first picks,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden 2 days later, nope, Yumi's the new first pick. It's like,
yeah.
it's almost as, oh goodness, wait a sec. I'm
Let's
excited.
go.
Let's see
Let's
if
go.
this comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Draven. I love Draven with his new change. I think it's really, really cool. Draven is a very binary champion. You know, he's a snowbally champion that, like, if he's behind, he's really bad, but when he's ahead, he's really good, right? As opposed to Misfortune, who's like, when she's behind, she's like okay, right? But now Draven, really, really strong. And this Lilia, that's going to Vision of Empire.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this Draven really shows up, because we've seen Draven a couple times at Worlds, and yes, we are comparing a lot of things to Worlds because it is the major tournament that we're getting right now. It's the the highest level of League of Legends we can get, and Draven showed up a couple times in Doggo's hands. May he rest in peace, unfortunately. But Draven is a champion that can snowball incredibly well if you can get a kill in lane. If you can gut that stack up, if you can go 1-0 on Draven at like 11 minutes when you have 300 stacks, you are off to the races. I want to see how it works into the Caitlyn Yuumi, because I think it has potential to beat that lane, considering Caitlyn doesn't necessarily have a lot of DPS, more so just big chunks with her headshots. So with that Jarvan in mind as well, very curious to see how Team Deathrealm want to play this out, because they've got to camp the crap out of this Draven, realistically.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do as well. This Jarvan pickup is really good, and I think it's interesting that they went for Yuumi and Jarvan, but opted for Caitlyn instead of Misfortune here. I know it's not exactly Rice Lover's most played champion, but like this is the recipe for Misfortune, for like a very strong Misfortune, isn't it?
I feel like it is, but maybe the Caitlyn is just to survive the Draven lane. I think they are worried about the aggressive support coming through, which does end up being that Blitzcrank, and Draven Blitzcrank is scary, especially when you already have a Yuumi in that lane. I think they picked the Caitlyn just to get, that extra 100 range in terms of auto attacks and be able to stay a little bit safer against the Blitzcrank. But then again, if a Caitlyn gets pulled, it's the same as if a Misfortune gets pulled, or if a early game Jarvan gets pulled, or if an early game Garen gets pulled. It doesn't matter, because the Draven's going to kill you. Aurelia comes out, though, and this is starting to get spicier.
Yeah, I mean, the picks just keep coming out here is that are just blowing my mind here, right? Like before, if before we were running a high damage comp, now we definitely have a high damage comp. We didn't talk about the Blitzcrank for a second, and this Blitzcrank and Draven is going to be just a huge pain in the butt to deal with, right? The second that you are down after all of that Blitzcrank CC, Draven is just going to throw his axes and have you move closer to the wall, and then have you have a harder time to get away from the Blitzcrank and Draven. And so this Draven could just snowball ahead of Caitlyn in this bot lane here, especially because Yuumi just can't do a whole lot about Blitzcrank pulls.
Yeah, and one of the main counters to Yuumi, and what we see a lot in solo queue, is anytime you want to play a Yuumi, you ban Nautilus, or you ban Blitzcrank, or you ban Thresh, because the hook support specifically are so strong into Yuumi's. If you're playing in solo queue and you don't have that coordination, yes, you're in a more coordinated environment here, but Blitzcrank can just pull the Caitlyn every single time, and Yuumi either is on top of the Caitlyn and they both die, or Yuumi isn't on the Caitlyn and Caitlyn dies faster, and maybe the Yuumi dies as well. So it's a very difficult balance in this lane. Basically, what you have to do is stay away from the Blitzcrank altogether, but this is a really fun draft because we have a Swain here, and Swain's W is called Vision of Empire, and so is Imperial Knights Blue's top laner. We haven't seen Swain top in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a Swain top here, but I feel like Vision of Empire has been playing a whole lot of Lilia in the top lane. I struggle to think where the rest of these champions are going if this Lilia isn't in the jungle, though. So it's just, man, I guess I'm more bothered now because, like, there are multiple champions on both teams that synergize well with Misfortune, and Misfortune was left up, and neither team wants to play Misfortune. Like, Lilia is very good with Misfortune. Irelia is really good with Misfortune. Even Swain, to a degree, is good with Misfortune. And on the other team, Jarvan is really good with Misfortune. Twisted Fate is pretty good with Misfortune. Shen is good at defending Misfortune, right? There's just so many good Misfortune build-arounds here, but it's just neither team wants her.
I think the main reason why is because she's 0-2 this series and she's just cursed. I think we have cursed the Misfortune into oblivion just by us being like, oh, it's another Misfortune. Or maybe it's just like the Amumu curse, where Amumu is so bad in play-ins at Worlds that now no one is picking him. So maybe that's the case of it. But regardless, I don't think Misfortune is amazing into Draven regardless, because Draven has a very easy way to cancel out a lot of what she does, which is chase people down, because Draven can just set them aside anyways. And especially into Blitzcrank, any AD carry is risky. I almost would have liked to see a Sivir come through, but Sivir's not even that great right now either.
Yeah, Sivir hasn't really been able to shine pretty much recently. Like that, I feel like I've seen some folks try to bring her back with like a lethal tempo build, but it just doesn't seem like as high DPS as a bunch of other picks. So it should be interesting to see like this team comp, because one of these is an actual team comp. Like, there's a whole lot of power picks on Team Death Realm here. They got Shen, they got Twisted Fate, they got Jarvan, they got Yuumi. Caitlyn might not be the most powerful AD carry here, but you know, being able to lock champions within her range and keeping them from really being able to escape with the Cataclysm here, and being able to protect her with the Stand United is really, really good. You know, on the other side, I don't want to say it's like not an actual team comp, but like there's just so much snow. Like, they're just like, okay, we're gonna get ahead in the early game and then we're not gonna lose the game. Like, that's what I'm seeing here. There's no tank, there's nothing but burst damage, and yeah, there's not a whole lot of sustainability outside of just Swain.
Yeah, Swain's really gonna be the one to sort of tank up a lot of the damage with that Demonic Ascension later on. Lilia just wants to sort of set up for Aurelia, I think. That's the main thing, but I'm really curious to see how Haru does on this Draven, because in some ways we've seen them go for extremely passive bot lanes. I'm talking about the Seraphine Sona that they played a couple times. But Draven Blitzcrank is quite literally the opposite of that, as the stream might have just died. And it's coming back. Never mind.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, we're back in it. Okay.
We just dropped 793 frames in a row. We are back.
Okay, we're back in it.
Yes.
793 frames recovered. That's how that works.
I was watching OBS and I just saw the red square come through and I was like, what's happening here? But
yeah.
You know, it was just Blitzcrank silencing the stream for a bit.
Yeah. It's just it's just looking it's definitely looking really, really like night and day from what we've normally seen from Haru and Saber's waifu here, right? Saber's waifu really likes playing a whole lot of plays more enchanters than engagers here, and even with the engagers favors more Thresh than Blitzcrank. So, you know, not exactly comfort for Saber's waifu here, but you know, the two of them in that bot lane, I just kind of leave the weeb bot lane to kind of whatever they want to do.
Yeah, and in some ways, as we learned from the plunge, and yes, I keep referencing it because it's sort of the first time we've really gotten to understand what this team is doing, they don't scrim that much either. A lot of their games just come through games that count. And for them to try this out in some ways is really bold, and I like to see the boldness come through, because I think it's going to be very impressive if they can get it off the ground. It's more so just making sure that the Draven doesn't fall behind. And I think Cypher Soul is going to have to prioritize this bot lane a little bit more than we've seen in the past, where Cypher Soul likes to go top mid a lot more. It's going to be a very curious game. I am excited.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying makes a whole lot of sense with regards to Imperial Knights Blue, right? They don't scrim a lot. That's why, and that's why they're out here just playing against literally it seems like every single person in the league, right? They have like 3 to 4 matches a week. They like do blocks of 3 so they can get in as many games as possible. Like, it seems to make the most amount of sense, right? For a team that doesn't scrim, they're just going to get their practice in, like, in these games themselves, right? Sure, it's a little bit of a gamble, but, sometimes you just come out on top. And, let's see if this gamble from Imperial Knights Blue is going to, pan out. We're going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be on the Rift of Game 3 of Team Death Realm versus Imperial Knights Blue. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
To Summoner's Rift.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 9. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by RareAdam. We are on the Rift of Team Death Realm versus Imperial Knights Blue, game number 3. Imperial Knights Blue's on the red side. Team Death Realm's on the blue.
Oh,
and we are about to get this game underway with a level 1 invade from the team that has Blitzcrank.
They got spotted out by the ward, though. It was just a little bit too late on the sweeper. I don't think it would have mattered because, you can see when your wards are getting swept, but information is going to actually be limited for the side of Team Death Realm here. Despite them being TDK, Team Death Realm have an R in their name, but it's a K because that was on the logo, and I decided I'm going to be defiant and put a K there instead of an R.
Okay.
Draven
Well,
has one CS.
you did a good job of being defiant, bud. So proud of you. We're going to put your TDK right on the fridge so everyone can see it.
Thank you.
Hey,
Regardless,
no problem.
a pretty low amount of information known by the side of Team Deathrealm here, because that ward that they put down is so safe. You can see it's on the mouth of their own jungle. It's on the ramp, sort of, to prevent against maybe a level 3 gank mid lane from bot side, but Lilia just wants the full clear, so a little bit of an interesting choice on that ward. Chimes is going to look for a level 2 gank, though.
Yeah, Srisai here. Yeah,
no.
okay. This is going to be pretty big. This is a level 2 gank from TDR Chimes here. Flashes forward onto Srisai. First blood at 2 minutes. Okay, well, Saber's waifu and Haru is going to take that personally. And they're going to look to maybe be a little bit more aggressive in the spot lane. Saber's waifu already throwing out the hooks.
Yeah, and that is sort of the Jarvan special. Red mid or red bot. That is how you play that lane. Or how you play Jarvan in general. Going to be a little bit behind in terms of the jungle clearing, and they're actually going to go for a 3-man played top lane. My goodness, Team Deathrealm are going in.
Yeah, we thought they were gonna. We thought Imperial Knights Blue were the ones who were gonna be aggressive, but look at Vision of Empire. They're looking for this last bit of damage. TDR Times is tanking it up and might be going down to the turret, but it was worth it. Hashtag worth in all chat. Might as well enjoy it while he can, as they're gonna be picking up a second kill for themselves on the scoreboard. As Saber's waifu gets the hook. Can they find the kill on the race lever? Gets that net away as Vision of Empire teleports back into the top lane, but Chovy is still here. Gets the double grab, though. Koyo Koko is in some trouble. Auto attack. You're walking into a warded bush. Vision of Empire picks up a kill, ties up the scoreboard.
Okay. This is concerning for the side of Team Deathrealm, because look at the CS gap in the mid lane right now. And Chimes is level 2.
Yeah, they're looking for the fight. Cypher Soul is here. They were able to grab that blue buff TDR Chimes here. They're getting it. Okay, they're getting the Dark Harvest out and getting out of there. So yeah, red team doing a pretty good job here, picking up the gold. I feel like at the end of all that, even though Team Deathrealm was super aggressive in that first game there, in the first few minutes here. I mean, it was only 2 minutes ago, and now the gold is in Imperial Knights Blue favor. I feel like we should be like 5 minutes longer into this game right now. We're only 4 minutes in.
One thing to note is that while Twisted Fate gets a little bit of bonus gold just off of his passive, it's not going to make up for the CS lead that Srisai is going to have on this Aurelia. And the main thing to be concerned about is that the experience difference means that Chovy Scout Caps is going to be so far behind on the potential level 6 play that Srisai can go. You can see this Aurelia potentially going bot lane, going across the map, but actually really odd trade coming down is... A lot of this is going against convention. Lilia is obviously clearing faster than the Jarvan, but Jarvan was like level 2 at 4 minutes, which shouldn't happen ever.
Yeah. Haru putting down a good chunk of damage. Catching those axes real well here, but not going to be enough to get that kill up in the bot lane. Rice Lover taken pretty low here. Going to be healed back up by Gracefish. They're looking for the re-engage. Gets a decent chunk of damage onto the cap. And can they turn it around on a Rice Lover now? They're getting a decent chunk of damage. Goods backwards. Throws out the Q. Haru going to be exhausted now. In some trouble. That's going to be the Summoner heal. Tries to flash him to the other side, but you can't flash away from a missile already in progress. Over to you. Cypher Soul looking for the return kill on a Rice Lover here. They're taking incredibly low. That's going to be Summoner heal being used. A teleport coming down from the top lane as well. They're going to interrupt the Shen teleport. That's pretty big. Are they going to use this opportunity to turn it around? It looks like a no thus far. Saber's waifu is in position to throw out a hook, but it doesn't look like they want to keep going.
I feel so bad for Haru. They looked so good at the beginning of that, but I think the exhaust was just... It was almost too early, but I think they had to go for it when they did. Vision of Empire should be safe here.
Yeah, TDR Chimes throws out the flag and drag. Not going to be able to land onto Vision of Empire this time. It seems pretty good so far, but yeah, this is a pretty bloody game. We have a kill, nearly a kill per minute. Only 6 minutes into this game, 5 kills already, and people are fighting across the map and throwing out teleports.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd game. I feel in some ways that both of these teams are trying a little bit too hard to get their advantages, and they're giving up some really kind of silly deaths. I think that Haru moving forward that aggressively there did kind of put him behind a little bit, because that you want to keep those stacks on Draven. In some ways, if you're not getting a kill like level 2, level 3 on Draven, you just want to wait until you're level 6 so that you can stack up your ultimate stacks now, because of course your passive executes. But I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence about how that early game went, considering Vision of Empire just randomly got 2 kills, and so did Jarvan, and now there's a kill on Yuumi as well, and Haru is less stacks than we would have liked to see.
Yeah, the last time I checked, he was sitting at about 35, so I think he should be sitting at around maybe the 50 range right now. He's definitely like... The
47.
Draven does... 47, yeah. So I was right, around the 50 range. Look at that. As Haru, yeah, you really... It's crazy, because you think Draven is this very aggressive AD carry, but, you know, with this new ultimate change, you kind of want to be safe until you can burst someone down with your ultimate.
Yeah, I think it's sort of the dichotomy in a lot of ways between what you can get at level 2 when you have your axes, when you have the blood rush so that you can go faster, and what you can get at level 6. In some ways, getting a kill at level 2 is nice because you get to potentially pick up a BF sword or a Vamp Scepter really early. On the flip side, at level 6, you can get a kill that's even more worth it, and you can guarantee it a little bit easier. But they've got to be really careful, because TDR Chimes is starting to realize that this Draven needs to be shut down.
Yeah, once again, Draven is a snowball champ. If he's able to get ahead, you're really going to run away with the game. But he's also kind of the double snowball, right? If he's behind, he doesn't do anything. But if he's really ahead, he hurts a whole lot.
He does too much.
Throwing some attention into the bot lane. TDR Chime's doing a good job, and he's going to be able to pick up this dragon as well. Lilia is also going to be spotted out by a ward in their own jungle. So they are going to have vision of where Lilia is right now. I think TDR Chimes and Chavy Scout Caps are looking for Lilia right now. As it's going to be TF Ultimate coming down. Looking for the Lilia. Okay, no, they're looking for Vision of Empire, though. He's going to be taken to about half HP. The Swain ultimate has been popped. Look at him healing up here. He doesn't have he does have that stopwatch available if he wants to use it. You hear Koyo Coco below half HP. That's going to be the ultimate pop now. Look at how low their HP bar's out now. They're going to throw out the claw, pick up the kill onto Shen. Chelvy Scout Caps is incredibly low. Going to be a double kill for the Swain. And now they're looking for more, because it's 1v1 TDR Chimes, Demacia versus Noxus. Who comes out on top? It's going to be Vision of Empire. Swain wins. The big demon daddy comes out on top of the triple kill in the top lane.
Yeah, and Shotgun Fingers just did so much damage to TDR Chimes at the end. I think that was it wasn't Electrocute, this Conqueror. Just all 5 of those shots landing down did so much damage, and it is actually Vision of Empire 5 to the 4 kills of Team Death Realm. So this Swain top lane, pocket pick or not, is doing incredibly well, and we can just see that there's going to be enough magic damage. I was a little bit concerned because you only had the Lilia and the Swain, but looks like they're going to have enough. But bot side...
Yeah, Lost Chapter throwing out some damage onto Haru here. Doesn't find the snare, though. Saber's Wife finds a good interrupt. Rice Lover finds the... Ooh, okay, damage coming across. Throws out the ultimate. Not going to land on anyone. Haru is not going to be able to pick up that kill. Yeah, I was going to say that the Vision of Empire, as the unofficial self-appointed flavor judge of Style Esports, I would like to award Vision of Empire 2 points. The first point is for taking Conqueror on Swain, and the second flavor point is for Swain killing Jarvan the Fourth.
I think the third flavor point goes towards the triple kill that he just got as well, but...
No. That's someone else. That's someone else. Someone else is in charge of those points. I don't give those out. I give out flavor points.
Okay.
And that's if they do something lore friendly. As Srisai diving onto Yuumi here. Not going to be able to find that kill just yet, but might be in some trouble. Going to get stunned up by the gold card here, but it doesn't look like they're able to follow up on that stun quite yet.
One thing I want to point out as well here is look at the CS difference between a lot of these lanes. A lot in favor of Imperial Knights Blue right now, despite them only having a 1 kill advantage. They're up 2,000 gold, and that's just based on Cypher Soul having almost double the amount of camps that TDR Chimes has got. Swain being up 25 CS, which is, I guess, to be expected in a range versus melee matchup. But in the mid lane, because of that early pressure that Srisai had, 101 CS on this Aurelia to the 68 of Twisted Fate. Not so nice, yes.
Ooh, yeah. Cypher Soul has to flash out of that Cataclysm immediately. Chovy Scout Cap shows up. Yes, that burst damage is huge. Haru's now joined the fight. Rice Lever is going to go down. Surisai is going to be the one picking up the kill as Vision of Empire is teleported into this fight. They're going to be able to find the chains. They're going to... Chovy Scout Cap is going to go golden. That's going to be Saber's waifu going down as they find yet another kill for Haru this time, as that is a 2 for 2 down to this bot lane. But Haru was able to cash in some of those passive stacks.
Yeah, and I think that was over 150 stacks, so that's a 700 kill right there. On to Chovy Scout Caps. I don't know if the shutdown had come through yet. Oh my goodness, the pull! Do we get a
Vision of Empire is huge right now.
We get a flavor point for that. Because that was...
No.
That tasted so good.
No, that's not the point.
You know what? I'm giving out my own flavor points. That was barbecue sauce. That was barbecue sauce on some nice ribs right there. That was a clean pull. You know what?
Look,
Vision of Empire.
Okay. I have to tell you.
I give you a rare point for that. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I have to tell you. Flavor, when you give out flavor points, it has to be for lore things. We can't just be throwing them around just because a play is tasty. Okay? That's something different.
Yeah, those are rare points. We are now appointing rare points that are hard to get. That's why they're rare.
Now, yeah, Haru. It's going to be taken pretty low here. Oh my gosh. Okay, that Dark Harvest is huge. Saber's waifu double kill. Just when you thought the double kill for 180 carry was good, Rice Lever shows up and is like, hey, I'd like one of those too, and picks up a kill for themselves. Not just one, but two. It's a very nice spot. It's now that's going to be Shelly pushing down on this bot lane as well. Got a charge, so getting some turret plates for themselves. As this dragon is spawning in just a little bit as well, and it's probably going to be on the blue team's control as they are just hunting Surisai and Cypher Soul here to the top side of the map, just scaring them away from this Drake as much as they can.
Yeah, keeping them away from that bot side of the map. It's going to be them trying to take control of the dragons once again. But Vision of Empire, first item Medjai's, that is some alpha level building right there.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, we're diving onto the thing here too. Red team is able to one picking up the Infernal Drake this time. They're going to pick up the kill onto Jarvan as well, as now the rest of the red team looking to collapse onto the Shen. Let's see if they can find it. Koyo Koko is in the... Oh yeah, he's put to sleep. That's going to be the stun to follow up as well. So much good CC stacking with each other. 2 for nothing, and they steal the Drake as well. This is a pretty big pickup for Imperial Knights Blue.
Really well played from Surisai there, actually, to be able to get all of that damage out. And you can see how confident they are on this Aurelia. And Cypher Soul stealing that dragon away when it had 5 HP after the smite. So TDR chimes just a little bit early, and Cypher Soul is able to pick that up. And I just... It's so shocking to see the difference in terms of the farm right now. It's 108 CS for the Lilia at 14 minutes. It's 50 for Jarvan. Jarvan has gotten no camps, no experience, and no gold this game. And Cypher Soul is 3 levels up despite, you know, not having the cleanest scoreline overall.
Yeah. This is going to be... okay, wait a minute. We have a Caitlyn ultimate coming across. We have a TF coming down as well. This is going to be the Fate coming across. Ooh, throws out the hook just a little too early, though, but that's going to be Saber's waifu falling down to Haru. Haru doing some decent damage. Surisai looking for a kill. The stun doesn't land, but they're turning on the Rice Lover here, as that's a big pickup for Haru. Haru throws out the swirling blades. They're coming on back. Here they come. Alrighty. Pick up 1 kill for themselves, 1 for 1 in this bot lane. It looks like Surisai might be looking for more, but it's just to scare them away from this turret. For Haru is going to pick up for themselves.
Yeah, Haru didn't have that many stacks that time around, but it's still another kill for Draven nonetheless, and that's always what you're trying to look for. Once they get those plated steel caps and start building potentially towards a Bloodthirster or some more damage. So despite this, Draven having a little bit of a rough time in the early game, has started to come around, and actually looking at the gold once again, is up on the Caitlyn now, despite Rice Lover being able to have a relatively good early game.
Yeah, it's looking to be pretty good now. Like, Draven is sitting on about 1,300 gold right now, and is full health and doesn't really need a whole lot of mana, so they can just sit here as Surisai. Oh, throws out the ultimate in the wrong direction. TDR Champs is going to be able to get away here, but I think they're still looking to contest this Rift Herald here. Saber's waifu gonna find the knockup on the right sliver here. Gonna pull them in as well. They're taking incredibly low. Have to use the net to get away. Here comes Stand United. Saber's waifu's in some trouble. They're gonna go down as Streetside is going to fall as well. It's a 2v1 across the map here. Cypher Soul going in forward. The DOT is going to be the one picking up the kill here. Cypher Soul picks up a kill on his Chavi Scout Caps. Is that going to be the Shirelia's popped? Actually, they're really looking for Haru Haru here. The slow is good. Can they get the last minute damage? Vision of Empire is here to answer. Gonna just throw some shotgun fingers.
Oh, they're pulling the trigger.
Oop, that's the sleep though. Whirling Blaze not going to land. Vision of Empire throwing out the shotgun fingers once again. Still can't quite find the fight that they want.
It's just every fight is so close. And once again, these teams are going blow for blow in terms of kills. Imperial Knights Blue have just had the better macro the last couple of games, but we'll see if the tides turn here. Sorry, wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Saber's waifu is going to be sealing that kill away from Vision of Empire here, taking incredibly low, below half HP. He does have the Swain ultimate available. Going to pop it to pick up the kill on the Caitlyn Godlike. Now has 16 stacks on that Medjai's. And I would like to make an adjustment to your statement before. I believe that Medjai's Soul Steal is more of a Sigma male thing to do because it is kind of putting himself on that grind set and in that solo lane. And also has a whole lot of passive income, you know what I mean? It's more of like a Sigma male grind set item, if you catch my drift.
I'm not going to talk for the rest of this game because you said that. Swain would not care if Sigma male is the cool, trendy new thing because he's already 10 steps ahead. You know what? He's already taken down the Sigma male grind set. He doesn't need a grind. He gets people to do that work for him.
Yeah.
So he can be an alpha, and he can, you know, how they're always like, yeah, the alpha male is the one who's stuck at home breeding. That's fine. He's got 16 Medjai stacks. He's got all the birds he wants.
Yeah.
So he's an alpha male.
Yeah. Okay. So steal away the red buff here.
That's
I didn't expect. Look, I didn't want that bit to go longer than what I already said, but you know, you can take it and run with it, I guess. God, it does remind me that Swain has some of the like most hilarious, like super serious lines. It's just like they're 5 steps away from realizing I'm already 10 steps ahead of them. As Streetside's gonna throw out the ultimate onto right sliver here, taking incredibly low, gonna dash to the other side of the lost chapter here, but Yumi's gonna detach, throw out that damage. Chavi Scout Caps throws up to as well to punish. They're able to pick up the kill, but they're not able to stop Imperial Knights Blue from picking up the Drake, nor are they going to be able to stop them from picking up the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and while Aurelia makes them remember the Placidium, Aurelia's going to be remembering her gray screen for the next little bit. Let's see if they can find the pick onto this bot lane, though. Yumi's asleep.
Yeah, Saber's waifu is insanely low, though. They have to run for the hills. That's going to be okay. It's going to be the DOT picking up from Saber's waifu. I don't know how they got that kill, to be completely honest. Yeah, I mean, they either have Scorch or I have no idea.
I think it was the Ignite that took them down, but yeah, a little bit odd.
Yeah. That'll do it here. Now they're going to pull in TDR Chimes here. That is going to be Vision of Empire popping the ultimate now. They're looking for the damage. It's so much on the Koyo Coco. That's the ultimate coming down from Draven as well. But Vision of Empire is using this opportunity to maybe die for more. He's full HP. You can't stop the Swain. He's too big. He's got too many wings. He's got one big glowy hand. He's unstoppable. As the blue team now has to go into their own base in order to heal back up and walk back out. But they're going to lose a whole lot in response if they're not quick to getting back to the Shelly.
And thus far, whether it's Alpha, Sigma, Beta, or Omega Male here, Swain knows that bird is the word. And 18 stacks on that book means that, you know, no matter what sort of political affiliation Swain is a part of, he's going to have a pretty nice red book at the end of this one.
Yeah. Yeah,
or
agreed.
Purple book, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it does look kind of pinkish, actually.
I feel like that's not as intimidating, though. Well, actually, I think it would be more intimidating. Just imagine, like, some scary guy walking behind you with the pink book. Being like, yeah, your name's going in
Vegeta wore pink. Vegeta wore pink. Yes, it's a threatening color. If Vegeta wore the color, it is now a threatening color. White,
is
threatening
Swain
color.
the weeb type? You think Swain watches anime?
Probably. Probably watched Psycho Pass. Swain watches Psycho Pass. Let's see. Oh man, what's the one? Overlord? Is it Overlord the one where the isekai where he respawns as like the Demon King?
I think so.
You know what I'm talking about? His big skeleton boy.
Yes.
There's also he watches Tanya Evil. Death Note.
Yes, it definitely watches Death Note. Trying to think of other ones.
Well, because Ryuk is also very bird-like too. He has a lot of like little feathers on his. Yes. Okay. They got a good hook. Has to flash over, but that's going to be Cypher Soul being trapped inside the Cataclysm here. They're looking for the last bit of damage on TDR Chimes, but he goes golden. Here comes the teleport in, but they've already found one kill. Caitlyn gets a huge shutdown here. Swain is in the middle of this, popping the ultimate. He's draining him as much as he can, staying alive. Koyo Coco's slowed up. Can they find the last bit of damage? Flashes forward, goes to kill Rice Lover, takes him incredibly low. Yes, finally going to be able to finish off that last bit of damage. Double kill for the Swain here, as they might be looking for more. Haru's found the cat. You can't go anywhere last. Ooh, it's a triple kill for Swain, actually. Not going to be able to give the kill over to Draven this time, but it is a 3 for 2, and then Swain is now sitting on a fully stacked Magi's.
Yes, you could say that the Death Note is filled up. Even though Ryuk is the good guy, Swain is definitely the bad guy, at least on the opposite team. Depends on if Caitlyn is Billie Eilish or if it's Lilia, because both of them have interesting style in terms of their fashion. But what is in style for Vision of Empire is going to be this Baron, so that you have the pink book, you have the purple boots, and you have the purple robes to mix it. So very threatening, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, right now, Lilia is just sporting a bunch of different masks. I don't know what exactly that makes them in terms if we're like trying to compare them to Billie Eilish. Like maybe I'm not sure, but you know that is going to. Oh, that's a Shirelia's pop here. Saber's waifu looking for. Oh no, the Flag and Drag does not land. TDR Chimes is okay. That's gonna be Draven cashing in that, and it's gonna put them at a nice 1,200 gold. So that's a real nice pickup for them. So yeah, Swain gonna be walking down this bot lane here. Doesn't have teleport available. Gonna be pushing in this side wave here. There's not a whole lot that Team Death Realm can do here to match the Swain or even the Irelia either, as they found the cat. Okay, she was backing and now she's gone. Saber's wife was going to be the one picking up the kill as Srisai looking for the kill on Koyo Coco in the top lane, tanking up the turret, throws out the ultimate, dashes forward, picks up the kill on the Shen. It's 2-0 across the map. They're going to grab this third Drake for themselves, second Mountain Drake.
Yeah, and Draven cashed out another 150 stacks, which is really nice as well, because Haru at that 2-item mark now, starting to deal some good chunks of damage, especially to the tanks because of the build path going for LDR second item. But Vision of Empire is just tanking up this turret and really does not care.
Yeah, okay, well, they might look for it here. He pops the ultimate here, does have the Zonias available, taken incredibly low, going to be able to find the kill onto Caitlyn here. Finds the kill onto Jarvan as well. Here's going to the Whirling Blades coming across, but it goes a little too soon. Not going to be able to pick up the kill this time. Vision of Empire still has that Zonias available if they try to dive, but it looks like Blitzcrank is just going to make that decision for them as they pull them back in. It's now 3-0, as now the rest of the team has to hold themselves against 5 members of the red team as they continue to push into this base.
Yeah, and it looks like Imperial Knights Blue are just trying to wrap this up early. I just realized they have a 15,000 gold lead, so yeah, they're very ahead, and I think it's due to Mr. Sigma, Omega, Beta, Alpha, whatever Greek letter, male, Swain.
Yeah, as that is good. Oh man, okay, that's going to be the Guardian Angel popped for Jarvan here. TDR trying to take an incredibly low. Vision of Empire is going to be the one picking up that kill, though. Haru's taking incredibly low, looking for the kill on the Rice Lover, but he's going to be healed up immediately as they're running away. That's going to be the TF ultimate pop. Let's see if they can continue this base defense here. Vision of Empire is legendary, but goes golden as they try to pick up that last bit of damage. So Koyo Coco is still around the Swain here. He has to come back, but Cypher Soul is going to be able to deny that shutdown this time. They're not going to be able to pick up that gold from Swain, and they're going to pick up the gold from the Nexus, though. That is game number 3 going over to Imperial Knights Blue, a 2-1 victory in a very convincing fashion from game 2 onwards.
Yeah, Imperial Knights Blue just sort of turned a new leaf at the very end there. They were able to just clean up all of sort of their shortcomings from game 1 and just clean themselves up. A nice 2-1. Once again, they did have one little rough game, sort of like that UW Stout series that we spectated as well, where in game 3 they just looked a little bit out of sorts. But here, this Swain, once again, Vision of Empire sort of took that game 1 loss personally, and once again, just popping off the charts in terms of damage.
Yeah, it's just so, I mean, like, I think we mentioned it before we got into the game, right? That, like, it's just, hey, we're going to go into this game, and if we get ahead, we're really going to be ahead, and then y'all are not going to be able to stop us. It's just, it happened on the wrong end of the map from what we proposed, right? Like, we were just like, okay, when Draven gets ahead, it's gonna be near impossible to stop them. But actually, it was the Swain, Vision of Empire, 15-1-6. Holy moly! I need to actually take a look at the damage graph real quick because I want to see how much damage this Swain did. Oh. 27,132. That's a pretty decent number. What do you think? 27,000?
Yeah, I think that's alpha male numbers. That's not sigma male numbers, because sigma males are like they wouldn't be satisfied with that. So we're gonna go with alpha male, and we're gonna stick with that, and we're never gonna talk about this ever again on stream. Okay, Shinkari?
Okay. Sure. Look. All right. Yeah, we're never going to talk about it again, hopefully. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this evening. This was a wild series between 2 very good teams here. GG's to both teams. Congratulations to Imperial Knights Blue for winning 2-1. Thank you all so much for tuning in. From myself, the entire live broadcast crew, RareAdam, my co-caster and producer for this evening, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, press that follow button. We have League of Legends action for you all to watch every single week. And if you're feeling generous, press that subscribe button. It really helps us out. But from everyone here at Style Esports Production, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next match. Bye-bye.